It is 9:45 on a football Friday night. This is high school football, Alabama after the game. Jon Holder with you on this football Friday night, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. We go to non-region play. It's already week number 6, if you can believe it or not, of the high school football season, and a lot of non-region games tonight. That means a lot of ranked teams playing each other tonight across the state. We'll have final scores of all of those games. It also means that we've got a lot of rivalry games, some history being made this week, records being broken, a whole lot to get to. So let's begin by going to the Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware scoreboard. We'll begin with a big game from last night. We're going to have not only highlights of this game, but we are going to have all the post-game reaction. Number 5 in 4A, Anniston, remains undefeated. They go to the Field of Champions in Piedmont. They knock off number 1 in 3A, Piedmont, in the first meeting in 74 years, since 1948 last night. Great game. Our crew was all over the place at the Field of Champions. We'll have all the coverage of that coming up, complete highlights, post-game reaction from Anniston's 30-28 win over the Piedmont Bulldogs. Also tonight, I was at Hoax Bluff today. Hoax Bluff, our reigning Ted's Carpet and Floor Team of the Week. We were there for the pep rally, broken trophy and all today. Hoax Bluff celebrating homecoming as they beat White Plains tonight 30-16 over at Hoax Bluff. Hoax Bluff has never lost to White Plains, and it did not happen tonight as they go to 9-0 all time. Let me tell you about this game. It was homecoming at Lamar Field in Oxford. The Yellow Jackets hosting number 6 Hartselle tonight, who remain undefeated. First time they've met in regular season play. Oxford had won both previous meetings that they had in the regular season, I should say in the playoffs, way back in time, back in the old days, back in the 80s and so forth. Hartselle comes in tonight. Oxford led at one point 21-17. That means Hartselle scored 52 unanswered points in this game. It was 31-21 at the half. Hartselle scores 38 unanswered, 38-0 on Oxford in the second half on homecoming, and that is a correct score. Hartselle tonight beating the Oxford Yellow Jackets 69-21. Highlights of that game coming up on After the Game. Welborn and Talladega still looking for a final on this game tonight, and that game was at Walter Welborn. Welborn was leading 40-20 in the fourth quarter of that game. We will have highlights of that game, and Walter Welborn head coach Jeff Smith will join us live on After the Game coming up tonight. Sachs beating BB Comer 28-0 tonight. Big win for the Sachs Wildcats. Sachs comes into this game at 3-2. They're now 4-2. BB Comer, the number 6 team in the state coming into this game in Class 2A. Sachs shuts them out tonight. Huge win for the Sachs Wildcats. Impressive win as Sachs beats BB Comer this evening 28-0 at Jack Stewart Field. Jacksonville and Ohatchee renewing this rivalry for the first time since 2003, their first meeting in 19 years. Number 6 in 4A Jacksonville at home at Golden Eagle Stadium. They shut down Ohatchee tonight as Ohatchee remains winless. Jacksonville 35, Ohatchee 6 the final. My crew was down at Volunteer Stadium in Clay County this evening. Central Clay County. This was a 0-0 game in the first half. Alexandria missed 3 field goals in the first half, had great field position, missed some touchdown opportunities as well, and then Central Clay County comes out on fire. 3 unanswered touchdowns in the second half. They led it at one point 21-0. Alexandria gets a score, but the final score, the first ever meeting, been waiting for this for a long time, between the Vols and the Valley Cubs. Central Clay County wins it tonight 21-7. We'll have highlights of that game coming from Volunteer Stadium in Clay County. Congratulations to the Weaver Bearcats. This is a battle of winless teams tonight up in Marshall County at Asbury, and Weaver beats the Asbury Rams tonight 46-8. It will be a pleasant drive home for the Bearcats. They may even have a parade tonight in Weaver down Parker Boulevard. Weaver tonight beating Asbury 46-8. First win for Gary Atchley and the Weaver Bearcats. Still looking for a final in Jacksonville Christian and East Central Christian playing in Jacksonville tonight at Tommy Miller Field. That was Jacksonville Christian's homecoming. Still looking for a final from JCA tonight. Raglan and Pleasant Valley, this is a final. Raglan out to a 32-0 lead at one point, and they beat Pleasant Valley. Not a happy homecoming for Pleasant Valley coach Jonathan Nix. He, of course, was the longtime coach at Raglan, returning his team to Joan Ford Stadium tonight, and Raglan beats Pleasant Valley 32-6. This game went to overtime tonight down at Wadley. Battle of Randolph County teams. Randolph County remains undefeated as the Tigers go to overtime to beat Wadley. Great football game tonight in Randolph County as Randolph County beats Wadley 34-28. That game was overtime tonight down in Wadley. Hanley continues to roll. They go in and beat, I know Lynette's a 2A team, but this is one of the top 2A programs in the state. Hanley goes into Morgan Washburn Stadium in Lynette. They beat the Panthers tonight. Hanley 37, Lynette nothing, the final score from down at Morgan Washburn Stadium. Next week, 4A Region 4, probably the region title game between Anniston and Hanley at Lot Mosby in Anniston. Leeds, no problem tonight at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga. The number 2 team in Class 5A. They're eyeing number 5 Moody. Battle of 411 coming up. Number 2 Leeds shutting down Sylacauga tonight 51-7. Horseshoe Bend wins at Fayetteville tonight. As Horseshoe Bend, I don't think we've got it up there, but we can tell you that it is a final. Horseshoe Bend has beaten Fayetteville 48-20. Horseshoe Bend 48, Fayetteville 20, the final score in that game tonight from Farm Linksville in Fayetteville. Childersburg and Vincent still looking for a final score on that game at John Cox Stadium in Childersburg tonight. Winterboro and Oakman playing at Winterboro in a non-region game. Still looking for a final on that one. Alabama School for the Deaf will play tomorrow at Kiwanis Field in Talladega as they host the War Eagles of Louisiana School for the Deaf coming from Baton Rouge tomorrow in Talladega. Summerton Christian and TCC tonight playing in Walker County at Summerton. Still looking for a final in that game. Cherokee County and Munford. This was homecoming for the Cherokee County Warriors. What an impressive win. They beat a good Munford team tonight in Center. Really only the 7th meeting between these two teams. And Munford tonight falls to number 9 in 4A. Cherokee County 56-26. Cherokee County 56, Munford 26. This is a 42-21 game. High-scoring game tonight, but Cherokee County is right in the thick of things in Class 4A Region 6. Number 9 team in the state in 4A, homecoming tonight, and they scored 56 points as they beat Munford by a score of 56-26, the final score in that game. Pell City and Eufaula, no final yet. Eufaula was leading this game at Pete Rich Alumni Stadium in Pell City, 30-20. Eufaula 30, Pell City 20 in the first meeting ever between those two teams. Look to have a final here momentarily. Victory Christian tonight with a win over Galesville. This was a come-from-behind win for the Lions as they beat Galesville tonight 19-16 down at Pell City. Moody continues to roll. The Blue Devils, we mentioned Moody and Leeds eyeing each other in 5A Region 6. Number 5 Moody goes into Columbiana tonight. They beat a good Shelby County team 47-7 as Moody remains undefeated at 6-0 in Class 5A play. Aniana and Springville tonight at Tiger Stadium in Springville. Not a final yet, but Aniana winning big. The number 4 team in 4A was leading winless Springville tonight at Springville 53-15. That was late in the game. Aniana up on Springville 53-15. St. Clair County and Elmore County, first meeting of the Saints and Panthers playing tonight in Odenville. Hayden tonight has won over the Asheville Bulldogs. Hayden 28, Asheville 6 tonight over in Blount County at Hayden. Sandrock and West End. Sandrock was up big in this game. I believe they had a 2-touchdown lead, 28-14 was West End. Let me tell you about this. Sandrock has won 20 straight against West End. West End won the first 3 times that they played, the last time being in 1979. Since that time, Sandrock has won 20 straight in the series, but right now West End was leading in the fourth quarter, and it looks like they're going to break that 20-game losing streak to the Sandrock Wildcats tonight. This is a final. Number 8 in Class 1A, Spring Garden taking on old rival Cedar Bluff tonight at LD Bruce Field at Cedar Bluff. Spring Garden wins the game 41-20. You see that Cedar Bluff leads the series 42-6, but 3 of the wins by Spring Garden have been the last 3 times they played. Spring Garden has won 3 straight in the series, and Spring Garden wins tonight at Cedar Bluff 41-12, the final. Collinsville goes into Shinbone Ridge at Gaston tonight. They beat the Gaston Bulldogs 48-12 in that battle over on Shinbone Ridge in the shadows of Lookout Mountain in Etowah County. Glencoe and Holly Pond, we will have the head coach of the Glencoe Yellow Jackets with us, Coach Scott Martin. It was homecoming at Glencoe tonight. They pick up win number 2 as Glencoe tonight wins over Holly Pond. We will have highlights of that game from Wilson Darnell Stadium in Glencoe as Glencoe wins the game 54-20 tonight on homecoming over at Glencoe at Wilson Darnell Stadium. Staying with games in Etowah County, Boaz and Southside tonight playing at the Ship at Dr. Corley Stadium up in Boaz tonight. Southside in that game, a big favorite. It was homecoming, I believe, at Boaz. Still looking for a final score in that game as Southside playing Boaz tonight up in Boaz. And Westbrook Christian tonight. They were on the road at Section. Westbrook Christian has never lost to the Section Lions ever, and it didn't happen tonight. Westbrook now 10-0 against Section as they go up into Jackson County, and they beat the Lions tonight. Section goes to 0-6. Westbrook, a nice bounce-back win after their loss last week to Hoax Bluff. Westbrook wins big tonight, 59-6 up against Section. This game started, and we've got that score wrong. It's 28-24. Gatlinburg Pittman beat Coosa Christian 28-24 instead of Coosa winning 28. There you go. That's correct. This was a big game for Coosa Christian playing in Gatlinburg, Tennessee tonight. Last year, it was Gatlinburg Pittman winning 56-7. Much closer game. As a matter of fact, Gatlinburg Pittman had to come from behind to win this game, and the Highlanders were a 3A playoff team in Tennessee last year. For the second year in a row, Coosa Christian goes into Gatlinburg, and they come out tonight with a loss, but a good loss, I guess you could say. Gatlinburg Pittman beating Coosa Christian 28-24 tonight in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Gadsden City and Hillcrest Tuscaloosa, not a final yet, but Hillcrest was up big tonight. The number 4 team in 6A, they were up big at Gadsden City tonight, 45-10. We will have highlights of that game coming from Titan Stadium in Gadsden today. The Sardis Lions win at Brewer. Hard to believe, but Sardis and Brewer had never played before. They played tonight up in Morgan County at Florette, and Sardis beat Brewer 12-7 the final. Brantley and Highland Home, the number 2 team in 2A, playing the number 4 team in 1A. It's a big rival game right there on Highway 331 in Crenshaw County. Highland Home, they are for real. The Flying Squadron, 6-0, beat Brantley last night, 28-27 in a huge game in South Alabama. Pickens County and Gordo, this was the big game in West Alabama, number 7 in 1A, number 4 in 3A, playing each other tonight in reform. Still looking for a final on that one. Another big game in the Wiregrass tonight. It was Ariton and Strawn playing just outside Andalusia. Ariton, number 3 in Class 2A, taking on number 8 in 3A, Strawn. Ariton wins tonight. The Purple Cats go into Strawn, and they beat the Tigers 28-14. Auburn and Ramsey were 2 big games right next to each other in Lee County tonight. Number 1 in 7A, Auburn at Duck Sanford Stadium. They beat the number 3 team in 5A, Ramsey, 42-21. Just up the street, literally about 5 miles at Bulldog Stadium in Opelika, we had another game we'll tell you about in just a moment. But Hoover beat Mountain Brook 26-14 tonight. That was the number 4 team in Class 7A against the number 2 team in Class 6A. And they were old rivals when Mountain Brook used to be in 7A. Now they play in a non-region game. Hoover wins at Mountain Brook tonight 26-14. Both teams ranked in the top 5 in Class 7A. Now, or in 6A and 7A. Now, Opelika tonight, we told you about the other game 5 miles up the road, up Highway 29 at Bulldog Stadium. Number 5 Theodore beating number 6 Opelika 34-24. Theodore, undefeated, number 5 team in the state in 6A, beating number 6 Opelika tonight 34-24. Homewood and Pinson Valley, number 8 team Pinson Valley in Class 6A, playing the number 10 team Homewood tonight over at Waldrop Stadium in Homewood, and it was Pinson Valley beating Homewood 21-13 the final in that game. And also the big game in the state of Alabama tonight. The longest winning streak in the state is over as Clay Chalkville had won 19 consecutive games. This was a matchup of the defending 6A state champion in Clay Chalkville, the defending 7A state champion in Thompson, 3-time defending 7A state champion. As a matter of fact, Thompson had a goal line stand at the end of the game, and they beat Clay Chalkville tonight down in Thompson at Warrior Stadium, 17-14. Longest winning streak in the state is over. Keep in mind, Thompson has 2 losses, but both of those were to out-of-state teams from Georgia and from Tennessee. Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game. Jon Holder with you on a Football Friday night. Let's tell you about all the ways you can connect with us, not only on Friday nights, but throughout the week and stay up to date on high school football. We need you to go to Facebook. That's where most folks watch the show, but also follow us there, because if you follow us, you'll get live updates. We had a live update from Piedmont last night, a live update from Clay Central. If you're not following us, you may miss those, so make sure to follow us at High School Football Alabama on Facebook. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube. A lot of folks, growing number of folks that watch us on YouTube. Hey, all you have to do is search Jon Holder. Hey, and it pops right back up there. Jordan Smith let me in on that, our director this week, that you could just search Jon Holder and High School Football Alabama After the Game comes up. A lot of folks watching on YouTube. You don't have to join anything on YouTube. You just go straight to the YouTube website and watch it there. And also during the week, go to High School Football Alabama. All of our past shows are archived there. A lot of great information, including the game schedule coming up for the week ahead. Anniston Orthopedics. Let me tell you, we have a lot going on this time of year. There's cross country, there's volleyball in addition to football, and a lot of injuries that take place, bumps and bruises, things like that happen. That's just the nature of athletics. Well, Anniston Orthopedics, their sports medicine and physical therapy clinic, they have a Saturday morning sports clinic at 8 o'clock every Saturday on the 3rd floor of the Tyler Center at 8 o'clock. Dr. Kenneth Vandervoort, Dr. Dwayne Tippett, Dr. Gordon Hardy, Dr. Michael Wiedmer, Dr. Dwayne Tippett Jr., and Dr. Andrew Morris. They want you to come by and see them. Great set of doctors there. Anniston Orthopedics with their clinic that is open every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock on the 3rd floor of the Tyler Center. They also bring us the Anniston Orthopedic score shirts. We'll show you one of those in just a moment. When we come back, the Sachs High School cheerleaders, Kurt Duryea of the Piedmont Bulldogs, scores, highlights, awards, and a whole lot more as we roll through 12:30 probably tonight, at least midnight, here on High School Football Alabama After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You will be glad you did. When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, Roanoke. And don't forget about our low price guarantee.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names. Just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cashback account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. noblebank.com. Member FDIC.
We are Texas Wildcats. We are Texas Wildcats. We are Texas Wildcats.
As promised, the Sachs High School cheerleaders, we're going to hear more from those ladies. They were excited tonight. Jack Stewart Field, Sachs wins tonight. Big win, knocking off the number 6 team in 2A, BB Comer, 28-0. More of the Sachs High School Wildcat cheerleaders coming up as we roll on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. All right, Farmers and Merchants Bank. It is Spirit Scholarship time, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 2 more schools that we're going to begin voting on at midnight tonight. Midnight tonight, we will begin voting, and you will be voting for a male and a female athlete from both Alexandria High School and White Plains High School. That voting begins at midnight tonight, and that is going to last until 12 noon next Friday, September the 30th. Here's what's going on. 4 scholar athletes from each school, $50 gift card to the final 30, and then 2 athletes chosen by you on Facebook at High School Football Alabama will receive a $1,500 college scholarship. We'll make that announcement here on Veterans Day night on November the 11th here on After the Game. So as we take a look now at our nominees for our Spirit Scholarship, we're going to talk about, I believe, Alexander. No, we're going to do White Plains first. White Plains is going to be first. Here are the nominees coming up for White Plains beginning at 12 midnight tonight. Kristen Rhodes, she is a softball player, a 3.7 GPA. Also, on the female side of athletics for White Plains, this is Taylor Hodge, a 2.5 GPA and a volleyball player at White Plains. On the White Plains male athlete side, we've got Wade Thompson, football player with a 3.7 GPA, and also Dalton Faulkner. He is a football and golf player for the Wildcats with a 3.5 GPA. Also next week, we're going to be voting for Alexandria. Here are the female athletes from Alexandria. Michaela Moore, a cross-country and track athlete with a 3.97 GPA. The other female nominee from Alexandria is Lauren Weber, a volleyball and softball player with a 3.93 GPA. And we've got a couple of male athletes of Alexandria. Luis Torres, a football player with a 3.75 GPA. And also Deshaun Foster, he is a cross-country and baseball player for the Alexandria Valley Cubs. Look at that GPA, a 4.13 GPA. Again, all you have to do is go to our Facebook page, High School Football Alabama. Just like the picture of the athlete that you want to vote for. That begins at midnight tonight through 12 noon next Friday, September 30th for Alexandria and for White Plains. And let's right now take you out to actually Cherokee County, Alabama. We're going to speak with the voice of the Piedmont Bulldogs on WCKA. Kurt Duryea, I believe, is standing by. Kurt, good evening. And a little bit more, I guess probably a little bit more relaxing tonight for you than it was last night at the Field of Champions. Great high school football game and atmosphere as Anniston beat Piedmont last night 30-28. You called the game on WCKA. Welcome in. Glad to have you with us tonight on After the Game.
John, always good to be with you, and it was an exciting atmosphere. I saw you down there on the sidelines. 2 great teams, Class 4A top 5 and 3A number 1, and you couldn't have asked for a better outcome, unless you're a Piedmont Bulldog fan, which I am, and sure would have liked to have that field goal go through the pipes.
Well, it was a great atmosphere, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But the game last night, the ebb and flow of the game, it was really, we've seen so many games, and you call all these Piedmont games We've seen a lot of roller coaster rides with Piedmont through the years. The state championship game last year, as a matter of fact. This game was a lot like that state title game with Montgomery Academy. A 30-7 lead by Anniston at the end of the third quarter. And then here come the Bulldogs again, just like we've seen Jack Hayes do so many times. 21 unanswered points, Kurt, in that fourth quarter. Kind of take us through what happened there as you watched the game there at the Field of Champions that fourth quarter for Piedmont.
Well, I think when it unfolded and we were down, we start the fourth quarter, we coined the phrase where there's a Hayes, there's a hope, because we've seen it with Taylor Hayes and with Jack so many times. You go back to Randolph County, Jacksonville, Alexandria, all of these games, but I think you hit it on the head that it mirrored that Montgomery Academy game because of the spread, the difference going there into the fourth quarter. And then Jack just lights it up. Those 3 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter brings us back and makes it a game at the end. And Jack Hayes, there's no game, no moment that's too big. He's always in control of the situation.
When Piedmont got the ball back, trailing by only 2 points with, 2:14, 2:18, something like that left in the game, I was on the Piedmont sideline, Kurt, and he was smiling. He loves this. He lives for this. What a great competitor. Does. But beyond just Jack Hayes, and everybody knows about the records, the touchdowns accounted for, he's within range of maybe even the all-time passing yardage record held by Jamarcus Russell that played at Williamson and LSU and in the NFL. But this Piedmont team, this particular senior class, and you've watched all of these guys, Kurt, in your tenure there at WCKA, you have watched them come up through the ranks. What is it about this senior class at Piedmont?
I think it's, every senior class that goes through, next man up. And you see it in, Jack's been a 4-year starter. We've had a couple 3-year starters, but it's just next man up. Cardavian Myers came in his senior year to become the quarterback. Mason Mohan did the same, came in his senior year to be the quarterback. Jack, fortunately, has been there 4 years as the starting quarterback, but it is just in their DNA. They're never out of it. You can't count them. And it isn't just Jack, as you had mentioned. It's each and every player on that team that has the belief in any sport that they're going to win.
Kurt, every Piedmont team, they've had great teams through the years. Really, virtually every year that Steve Smith has been head coach there, they've had a playoff team. They had a great team. Sometimes they win the state championship. Sometimes they're the run-up, maybe the semifinals, but they're always in the mix for a state championship. They each have their kind of different personality to them.
They do.
What's the personality in your mind of this Piedmont team in 2022 from what you've seen so far?
This one's still developing, and sometimes we see that have to develop over the course of the season, but it's pretty laid back, and they follow Jack's role in that. There's not a lot of intensity, on a day-to-day basis, but it's a laid-back type of thing. It's different than anything that I've seen.
Kurt, let's talk about the atmosphere last night because standing room only crowd. Anniston brought a great crowd. Piedmont, of course, had a great crowd. There were probably a third of the people there not affiliated with either school, being a Thursday night. The entire event was a tremendous success all the way around. As we've documented, everybody's been talking about Anniston and Piedmont had not played each other in football in 74 years. Most folks not alive the last time that they played and can remember that. It was a great marketing tool, if anything, for high school football. People want to know what high school football is about and why Kurt Duryea is so passionate about it, why Jon Holder is so passionate about it. Yeah. If you're at Piedmont last night, I think you got a taste of why we're so passionate about high school football.
You did, and I think this is one of those games that 25 years from now, that crowd just went to 5, 15, 20,000 in it, John. But yeah, it was an outstanding atmosphere. The athletes that were on the field, the coaches on the sideline. You look at these athletes that were out there last night. Anniston, this is the 4A state track and field team. A good portion of them on that, speed all over the field, size all over the field. Piedmont, not the same size nor the same speed, but in their heart-wise, their heart just as big as the Anniston Bulldogs. Both teams battled all the way down to the end. Into the game, it's handshakes and hugs. We'll see you next year.
A lot of class, a lot of sportsmanship after the game last night. Looking ahead now, Piedmont, the good thing about playing on Thursday is you have an extra day to get over a tough loss like that. And now you go to Westbrook Christian next week. Tell us about the Westbrook game and kind of size up the rest of the season for Piedmont.
Well, with Coach Smith, it's only about the next game, but we do have some key contests as we go forward. Westbrook Christian, Glencoe, Geraldine, all on the schedule in front of us. We finish with a non-region game against Sylacauga. So we have all of those things going forward. But the most important one, we go to Jack Osborne Stadium next Friday night, get the W there, and move on. We know at Piedmont what it's like to be in these tie-breaking situations. We want to control our destiny, win the region games, win it outright, and move into the playoffs as the number 1 seed.
Kurt, before we let you get on with your evening tonight, tell us about your crew at WCKA.
Yes.
Tell folks how they can tune in next week on the road. A lot of Piedmont fans and other fans, you're out and about on Friday nights coming and going from games and things like that like we do. We tune in to you guys. And tell us about how they can listen in to Piedmont Bulldog football.
John, I'm blessed to have a great team with me. Of course, Michael Ingram is my color commentator, and Robin Roberts wasn't with us last night, had to travel on business, but Robin is our statistician. So Grayson Ingram subbed in for him, did a fantastic job tonight. Grayson is at Hoover. He works with Hoover on Friday nights, which is available on a Thursday. And then we have Ethan Riggs. Ethan is a JSU intern. We've been blessed for the last 4 years to have an intern from JSU to help us out with the crew. We start at 5:30, John. We have an hour-long prime time drive program, so folks they get everything from Randolph County up to Jackson County as we cover all those regions for an hour leading up to the Bulldog pregame show at 6:30. They can tune in on WCKA 8 to 10 a.m., 94.3, 97.1 FM, or any of the social media platforms. And thanks for asking about that.
Kurt, thank you so much for the job that you and your crew there do at WCKA, bringing us Piedmont High School football. Best of luck to your team and to the Bulldogs throughout the rest of 2022.
Yes, and when you get Coach Martin on there, he may not know this, but Coach Smith has a hole-in-one. Coach Smith isn't the golfer. Of course, Coach Martin is, but you need to ask Coach Smith about his hole-in-one.
We will ask about that, that's for sure. Kurt, thank you so much for being with us on our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser tonight, live from Center, Alabama.
Thanks, John.
Kurt Duryea, voice of the Piedmont Bulldogs on WCKA. Farmers and Merchants Bank, let me tell you what they have. They have these brand new Spirit cards. They have now gone to a horizontal card. It's a newly designed card that they have out. You're going to see this later on in the show tonight. Farmers and Merchants Bank, they've given out $20,000 in scholarship just over the last several years. They've got the new Spirit scholarships. They're going to be opening up in Center and Cherokee County coming up within the next year. Farmers and Merchants Bank, great supporters of high school athletics here in East Alabama. Now, we promised you more of the Sachs High School cheerleaders, and we're going to deliver on that promise. Ladies and gentlemen, here they are, fresh off a big win tonight at Jack Stewart Field. One more time, the Wildcats from Sachs High School.
My dad taught me to fish right here years ago. But when an old sports injury started slowing him down, I knew we'd need to search for the latest procedures in knee and hip replacement. With physical therapy tailored to his needs, a dedicated team of doctors and nurses, and he'd want a fast recovery time. So where'd he find all that?
Right here at RMC.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Anderson Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Anniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Anniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.annistonortho.com. Anniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
Your home is a reflection of you, whether that's classic, farm style, or something unique. We at Ted's Carpet and Floor understand that, and we'll help you through the selection, finance, and installation process. We have an extensive selection of designer tiles, carpet, laminate, and hardwood. Let us help you choose the perfect granite or quartz to customize your kitchen or bathroom. We offer free in-home measurements, estimates, and design consultations. Ted's Carpet and Floor, your style, our passion.
Are you ready for some football? Come in all month long and take a test drive at Team 1 Chevrolet and have a chance to win an Alabama, Auburn tailgate, or the ultimate tailgate package. Log on to ChevroletofGadsden.com for complete details. Chevrolet of Gadsden, where everyone's a winner. Someone's going to win an Alabama tailgate, someone's going to win an Auburn tailgate, and somebody's going to win the ultimate grand prize, including grill, generator, and big screen TV. Chevrolet of Gadsden, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Hey, we're just getting started on After the Game here on a Football Friday night. Jon Holder will be joined momentarily by Gerhard Mathangani and the coach Michael Short. Tons of highlights coming. Right now, we got all the final scores pouring in here at our RMC Media Center at Parker Memorial Baptist Church in Anniston. So let's go back to our Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware scoreboard from last night. Number 5 Anniston in 4A beating number 1 in Class 3A Piedmont 30-28 the final. Hoax Bluff tonight, our reigning team of the week. They beat White Plains. Happy homecoming for the Eagles. 30-16 Hoax Bluff over White Plains. Hartselle scores 52 unanswered tonight, spoiling Oxford's homecoming. Highlights of this game on the way and the Piedmont game. Hartselle beat Oxford 69-21 tonight. Walter Wellborn and Talladega. Wellborn wins on homecoming on the hill. They beat the Tigers 48-28. Head coach of the Walter Wellborn Panthers, Coach Jeff Smith, will be with us here on After the Game a little bit later on this evening. The Sacs Wildcats, as we said, beating number 6 in 2A BB Comer, and they shut them out tonight 28-0. Jacksonville, a winner over Ohatchee 35-6 this evening at Golden Eagle Stadium. Central of Clay County will have highlights of this game. A 21-0 lead at one point. They beat Alexandria 21-7, 0-0. That game was at halftime. Weaver wins game number 1 this year. The Bearcats winning at Asbury 46-8. Still looking for a final on JCA and East Central Christian tonight. Homecoming for Jacksonville Christian Thunder. And Raglan over Pleasant Valley 32-6 tonight over at Joan Ford Stadium in Raglan. In overtime, Randolph County wins against county rival Wadley 34-28. Hanley, the number 2 team in 4A, setting up that big matchup with Anniston, a top 5 matchup next week at Anniston. Region title most likely on the line. Hanley beating Lynette tonight at Morgan Washburn Stadium in Lynette, 37-0. Sylacauga, number 2 in 5A, leads number 2 in 5A, wins at Sylacauga tonight at Legion Stadium. Leeds wins the game 51-7. Horseshoe Bend wins by 28 tonight over Fayetteville at Farm Links Field in Fayetteville, 48-20. This is a new score. Vincent tonight has defeated Childersburg at John Cox Stadium in Childersburg, 42-13. Vincent had not beaten Childersburg, folks, since 1947. They did it tonight at Childersburg, 42-13. Winterboro, a huge win tonight for the Bulldogs at home as they knock out a good Oatman team. 26-20, Winterboro wins tonight. Congratulations to Skylar Mansfield and the Bulldogs. ASD and Louisiana School for the Deaf, the Silent Warriors and the War Eagles tomorrow in Talladega. Summerton Christian, this is a new score. They have beaten Talladega County Central tonight over in Summerton in Walker County, 54-21. Cherokee County celebrates homecoming. The number 9 team in 4A winning tonight in center as they beat Munford 56-26. It was Eufaula, high scoring game tonight. Almost 90 points being scored in that game. And it was Eufaula beating Pell City 54-35. Victory Christian tonight comes from behind to beat Galesville 19-16. Moody, the Blue Devils, number 5 in the state, getting ready for a showdown in just a couple of weeks coming up with the Leeds Green Wave. Number 5 Moody in 5A beating Shelby County 47-7. Springville and Aniana. This is now a final. Aniana remains undefeated, the number 4 team in the state in 4A, winning tonight at Springville at Tiger Stadium, 53-22. St. Clair County and Elmore County. Elmore County goes to 4-1 as they come into Odenville, and they beat St. Clair County tonight, 35-13. Hayden, a winner over Asheville, 28-6 the final from Blount County over at Hayden this evening. Sandrock and West End, I believe this game has now gone final. It has. West End, let's tell you about this because this is pretty big for the folks out in Walnut Grove. West End, the first 3 times they played Sandrock, they won. But the last time that happened was in 1979. In the last 20 times that they have played, Sandrock had won 20 in a row. Tonight, though, West End breaks that 20-game losing streak at the hands of Sandrock as West End wins over Sandrock by a score of 44-21 tonight. And that game was played at Russell Jakeway Stadium at Sandrock. Also this evening, Spring Garden, number 8 in 1A. They're no longer in the same region with each other, but Spring Garden wins at Cedar Bluff 41-12 tonight as the Garden now goes to 4-1. Collinsville beats Gaston 48-12. Glencoe, the Yellow Jackets, Scott Martin, head coach of the Glencoe Yellow Jackets, will join us live right here on After the Game. Glencoe beats Holly Pond, homecoming for the Yellow Jackets tonight at Wilson Darnell Stadium as they beat the Broncos 54-20. Boaz and Southside. Southside 5-1 now. They win at the Ship in Boaz as they win over the Pirates 41-20. Westbrook Christian on the road tonight as well at Section. They are now 10-0 against the Lions. Westbrook wins it 59-6. Coosa Christian, good showing tonight in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. They take on Gatlinburg Pittman. Gatlinburg Pittman 4-2. Coosa Christian gave them all they wanted. Gatlinburg Pittman had to come from behind to win tonight in the Smoky Mountains. Gatlinburg wins it 28-24. Gadsden City and Hillcrest Tuscaloosa. Hillcrest, the number 4 team in the state in 6A. They come into Gadsden City and they beat the Titans tonight at Titan Stadium. We'll have highlights of that game. Hillcrest wins it over Gadsden City 45-19. Sardis tonight wins their first ever meeting with Brewer over in Morgan County at Florette. 12-7. Last night, great game in South Alabama in Crenshaw County. Number 2 in 2A Highland Home, the Flying Squadron beating number 4 Brantley at Brantley 28-27. Pickens County and Gordo, this is now a final. Gordo, number 4 team in 3A, beats number 7 in 1A Pickens County in Reform. Long-time rival game in Pickens County. Gordo wins it 54-18. Arrington and Strawn playing tonight. First time they played each other in about 30 years. Arrington tonight wins at Strawn 28-14. Another big top 10 matchup. Number 1 in 7A Auburn playing at home tonight in Auburn against number 3 Ramsey at Doug Sanford Stadium. Auburn doubles up Ramsey, the number 3 team in 5A, 42-21. Hoover tonight and Mountain Brook, old rivals here, no longer in the same classification but playing non-region tonight. Number 4 in 7A Hoover wins at number 2 in 6A Mountain Brook 26-14. Opelika and Theodore tonight in Opelika. Theodore gets the win in a battle of 5 versus 6 in 6A as Theodore wins over Opelika 34-24. Pinson Valley tonight breaking our own Gerhard Mathangani's heart. Homewood Patriots tonight, number 10 team in 6A, losing to number 8 Pinson Valley 21-13 at Waldrop Stadium in Homewood. And the big matchup in the state tonight was number 5 defending 7A state champion Thompson. They were taking on the number 1 team in the state defending 6A state champion in 6A, Clay Chalkville. The longest winning streak in the state is over. 19 games in a row Clay Chalkville had won, but they lose tonight in Alabaster to Thompson by a score of 17-14. Something happened to me today that has never happened in my 32 years of going to pep rallies and awarding Team of the Week. We showed you the Tough Guy Trophy from Awards to Remember that we give to our Team of the Week. There is the Tough Guy Trophy. The Tough Guy, he was not as tough today. I actually broke the Tough Guy today, literally broke the Tough Guy. At Hoax Bluff today, we were there for their pep rally this morning for homecoming. You see that beautiful trophy there, and you see the video. There's Coach Rob from Hoax Bluff standing behind me. You see right over there in the corner, there's the broken trophy sitting over there on the volleyball stand where I broke that today. There's our Anniston Orthopedics score shirt right there for Team of the Week. You should have seen the eyes of the Hoax Bluff crowd when I held up the score on the back. Hoax Bluff 24, Westbrook Christian 21. They went crazy over that. We also had a Ted's Carpet and Floor t-shirt that we gave, a nice looking gray t-shirt that we gave to the Hoax Bluff football team as well. So they not only got the broken trophy, we'll get them a new one, but they also got 2 t-shirts. Jason Gregerson there from Ted's Carpet and Floor joining us there today. He's a Southside graduate, so he was in enemy territory at Hoax Bluff today. Had a great conversation with Coach Mike Robertson, head coach at Hoax Bluff. Appreciate the hospitality. Hey, they even made a sign for us out there today, and we appreciate the Hoax Bluff cheerleaders as they made a great sign welcoming after the game to Hoax Bluff today. You're going to see us zoom around to that. There it is. Welcome after the game, Jon Holder there, and we appreciate all the hospitality at Hoax Bluff today. Coming up just before 12 midnight tonight, we will name our Ted's Carpet and Floor Team of the Week. Who's it going to be? Who's going to get the T-shirts? Multiple. Who also is going to get the Tough Guy Trophy, which I promise not to break this week. And that's all from Ted's Carpet and Floor, and of course, those great Anniston Orthopedics score shirts. Ted's Carpet and Floor, let me tell you about them because I'll give you a personal testimony. They did carpet and flooring in my house this summer, and they were phenomenal. Come out, they'll do a free estimate for you. They're locally owned and operated, easy financing plans, lifetime workmanship warranty, only first quality products. They are the best. There is no doubt about that when it comes to carpet and floor. Ted's Carpet and Floor, outstanding folks that support high schools and high school athletics here in East Alabama. Time for our next Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden. Actually, our first Team 1 of Chevrolet of Gadsden. Extra point tonight, and it's about Jack Hayes once again. The Piedmont quarterback now has 137 career TD passes. He broke the all-time AHSA record for career passing touchdowns in last night's 30-28 loss to Anniston. He now has 8,989 career passing yards, ranks 9th all-time in state history. He's just 1,785 yards behind the all-time leader, Jamarcus Russell of Williamson and Mobile, who of course played at LSU and in the NFL. He has 10,774 passing yards in his career. He can't get any more, but Jack Hayes can. He's coming after that all-time state passing yardage record next. When we come back, Gerhard, the coach. We roll on a football Friday night.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, or Roanoke. And don't forget about our low price guarantee.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cash Back account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. Noblebank.com. Member FDIC.
There's a lot to think about when you're having a baby. Colors of the nursery, names, and most importantly, where to deliver.
We want a hospital that gives families a more personalized birthing experience.
With a compassionate team of doctors and nurses, and a hospital where my baby and I can instantly bond with all the comforts of home.
So where do we find all that?
Right here at RMC, the first designated baby-friendly hospital in Alabama.
Aniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Aniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Aniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.anistonortho.com. Aniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
Rolling on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, and we are about to roll our first Red Threads highlights of the night, powered by O-Brand Red Threads, specializing in custom screen-printed apparel and promotional products. Their storefront in Jacksonville is phenomenal. I love going in there. They've got all kinds of Jacksonville State licensed merchandise, the best selection of quality Jacksonville State merchandise, all things Adidas, local city gear as well. Red Threads Apparel, where what's important about our shirts are the people that are wearing them. We bring in for the first time tonight Coach Michael Short and Gerhard Mathangani. Guys, welcome in. We have watched a lot of football the last two nights. Made some long nights. I'm working on about a close to a 24-hour day by the time I get in bed this evening, and most of that has been football.
That's right.
All right, so we're going to begin with our Red Threads highlights. Gerhard, you're going to take us out to the Piedmont and Aniston game from last night. What a phenomenal, we're going to talk about this after the highlights, but what a phenomenal high school football game and atmosphere at the Field of Champions last night.
This is one of those games that at the beginning of the season, what we did was we kind of perused week 5. We always know that that's when you get a chance to get a lot of these great matchups. We talked about the Alexandria Central Clay. We talked about Clay Chalkville and Thompson, Pinson Valley and home with some of these matchups. This was one of the ones here in East Alabama that had top billing because of the nature of both teams going in. And we knew Piedmont was going to be good. We knew Anderson was going to be good, but this is a really strong Anderson team, and they proved it over the first 5 weeks of the season and did again last night. We'll go out to the Field of Champions in Piedmont as the defending state champions out of Class 3A hosted Anderson. John, you mentioned it earlier. These two teams have not played in a very long time. 1948, the last time these two teams hooked up. It is Piedmont on the board first. Ish Bethel on the receiving end of this touchdown pass from Jack Hayes. This now ties him with that state record, John, that you mentioned earlier. Continues to just fly up the record books, but Aniston responds right back with a stud quarterback of their own. That's Cam Sadlin, a great pass right across the middle and gets it deep into Piedmont territory. Their next possession is a touchdown pass right here as Cunningham on the receiving end of this touchdown, 22 yards from Sadlin, and we would go to Malachi Taylor for the 2-point conversion. And this touchdown right here would make it now 14-7 Aniston. And then Aniston comes right back with a little bit more. Huge play right here from Cam Sadlin and a huge catch right there from Cunningham. A little bit later on, it is Sadlin getting in to the end zone for the touchdown. It's a 14-yard touchdown run there. And then the 2-point conversion. And guys, I'll tell you what, when you're just super athletic, you can just make plays on the fly. And that's exactly what they did here. It initially went to Cunningham, then to Sadlin. Sadlin takes it in off the pitch for the 2-point conversion. It's now 30-7. A lot of people just thought that this was Aniston's game after that. But Piedmont said, wait just 1 second. Great pass there to Raleigh Pinto from Jack Hayes. For a big first down, 25-yard play. And then the record breaker right there as Pinto on the receiving end of that 20-yard touchdown pass from Jack Hayes. The record is now his for touchdown passes. We'll talk about that more in a bit. A little bit more from Piedmont. Ish Bethel, you saw him earlier. Here he is once again, a 31-yard touchdown grab, and just like that, a couple scores. It's now 30-20. Piedmont still climbing back into this one. A 12-yard run here by Jack Hayes. Crosses the sticks, gets the first down. A little bit later, it is Pinto on the receiving end. Watch the adjustment to the ball here. Jack Hayes is a great quarterback, but that's a great adjustment to the football to get back, and that's a first down for Piedmont. A little bit later, it is Thomas Probst on the receiving end of this touchdown, and hold on just 1 second. We have a one-possession game here. It is 30-28 after the 2-point conversion is good there. A beautiful pass there. However, the Aniston Bulldogs, you see the 2-point conversion right here is good for Piedmont. So it is now 30-28. Raleigh Pinto, who had an amazing second half there on the receiving end of that. Piedmont with a couple of chances late in the ball game with about 2 minutes and under. But this is an interception here by Jaden Dobbins on the pickoff for Anniston. They actually closed it out kind of twice here, once at about a minute and a half to go. Then they closed it out for certain. Piedmont had one more drive after that. They were unable to get in position for the field goal. And guys, that's how it ends, 30-28. However, 30-7 was your score. Deep into this game, Piedmont roars all the way back. They gave themselves a chance to get a field goal to end up taking the lead in this one, but Anniston seals the deal with their defense. And guys, this is one of the best high school football games I've been to, and just the pendulum swing of the momentum to me was phenomenal, Coach.
Well, the whole ball game, just from the start to the ending, it was a great game for Calhoun County.
Yeah.
You can't say they're rivalries because they haven't played enough.
Right.
But they're both proud programs. And for them to come together, hats off to both coaches for making this happen. So it was great for the county, but just as the game went along, we always talk about your big-time players have got to make big-time plays.
Right.
And both did that. All the big-name players from both sides made plays at some point in time during the night, and I thought both quarterbacks played a great game, in their different style of quarterbacks. On some other teams, they may not be quarterbacks. They may be running backs or whatever. But they both did what they were supposed to do.
Right.
They both led their teams, and Anniston ends up pulling it out with a 2-point win. But the 2-point conversion was one of the bigger plays in the game. And you have to give credit to the running back to have the fortitude to be being tackled and going down to pitch it back to his quarterback. And that was one heck of a collision there in the end zone. I was there, and both of them got up shaking their heads, and the cobwebs were everywhere. So, it was a great game. They did get ahead. Piedmont did the things they always do to come back. But you have to give credit to Anniston, too, there at the end of showing the resiliency to pull it off.
Right.
Because a lot of times the old Anniston – there when things started going bad, it would have folded.
Right.
But they're not folding now.
Right, exactly. And I think that speaks to what Coach Rico White has done with this program, is because not only do they have the athletes, but they have the mental fortitude. I spent some time there on the Anniston sideline when they were up 30-7, and the natural thing to do, Coach, and you know this from a guy that's coached 16 and 18-year-olds. The natural thing is to relax, and I think that there was a little bit of that. But the coaches kept saying, "Hey, this is a good football team. They're not going to." And Cam Sadlin, you'll hear him. We'll have some of his sound bites after the game. He mentioned it too. Like, he knew Piedmont would come back, and they did. And it's one of those situations, John, where I think that they understood who Piedmont was. Piedmont showed their toughness, and despite their 2 losses. Take nothing away from this football team. This is a team that will compete, and that has competed with the best in the Class 4A.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think the thing that I came away from thinking about that game was tons of respect for Anniston to coming into the Field of Champions and getting out to a 30-7 lead over the Piedmont Bulldogs, ranked number 1 team in the state. Who does that? And then a ton of respect for the Piedmont Bulldogs, down 30-7 at the end of the third quarter. This was not like last year in the state championship where they were down 23 at the half. They were 23 at the end of the third quarter in a game that, no region game, not a state championship game. They very easily could have just said, well, this is not our night. And a ton of respect for Piedmont for coming back and almost winning that football game at the end. And, Coach, you're exactly right. This is what Calhoun County, and I would expand that and say even East Alabama football needs. From my perspective, over the last 20 to 25 years, we've lost so many rivalries with a consolidation in Clay County, with a consolidation in Gadsden, with the demographic changes in Anniston and Oxford and Welborn. We've lost so many great rivalries, and this has a chance, maybe, hopefully, to develop into a great rivalry. And, Coach, I know you know this as well as anybody. We need rivalries here in East Alabama.
You have to, and they need them. First of all, you need them for money.
Right.
But those kids and those fans deserve games like that. They're coming and spending a lot of money to stand on those sidelines and in those bleachers to watch those games, and those players are putting forth the effort to be able to play those kind of games.
Right.
Those kids last night, those coaches, and the fans too, will never forget that game.
Yes.
They never will. They'll carry it the rest of their life just because of how big the game was. You got 2 top 10 teams out of 2 classifications, and they came together and they made it happen. And it was a great game to be a part of. I mean, I'm telling you, I like those kind of games.
Exactly, and I was really observant after the game about just the interaction between all of the players and the coaches, and you could just tell all of the mutual respect. And I especially wanted to see the 2 number 7s, the 2 quarterbacks, Jack Hayes and Cam Salin, and they shared a really nice moment as well. And it's one of those situations where I think that it is really good for the county. We did get a chance to catch up with all three. All three of us were there. Charlie was there as well, and we were able to catch up with the quarterback Cam Sadland as well as Rico White. You also hear John off camera as well after the game.
I mean, Piedmont's known for coming back, so I mean, it shocked us a lot. We thought the game was put away. We thought the game was put away early, but they really wanted it. We had to show who the dog was.
You feel like this is the best game you played?
Yes, sir.
So what was the attitude of the team coming in here against the number 1 team in the state in 3A?
I mean, I feel like we had to come with a little chip on our shoulder because, we had some people thinking we weren't going to make it or we weren't going to get this far, and we just had to show us who the dogs were.
First, just this game itself, the atmosphere, it's unbelievable. I'm so proud that Coach Smith and myself, we can come together and make it happen. But I tell you what, to play a team like that, it was playoff atmosphere. No one wanted to lose. You're fighting with all your might. And I tell you what, I can't say enough about their team or my team.
Cam Sandlin told me just a few moments ago he felt like this was the best game that he had ever played. Your assessment of him tonight?
Well, if I look at his mistakes, I should know. But at the same time, I'm proud of him. He stepped up. The punt, just taking the load, taking the team on his back and running the ball. I'm proud of him.
From a coaching standpoint, having 2 huge, big back-to-back games like this, what's kind of been your philosophy these last week or so?
No rest. No rest. I tell you what, I'll go home tonight and get about 2 hours sleep and start watching Henley. Last night I slept 1 hour, I'll be honest with you. But I tell you what, this game is good for the program to beat a team like this. But next week is a major step as far as winning the area. I feel if we beat Henley, we have a great chance of winning the area and finishing. So we're going to have our hands full.
Some good words there from Cam Sandlin and also from Coach Rico White of Anniston. I think they kind of echo what we've been talking about. So now we look ahead. We talked with Kurt Duryea about Piedmont with Westbrook Christian coming up next week. But everybody in the state is going to be looking, especially after that performance by Anniston last night and Hanley going in and taking care of business tonight at Lynette. This game next week now, Hanley and Anniston at Watt Mosby and Anniston. It's about as big as it gets in 4A football, guys.
The question you got to answer is Hanley's running back going to be healthy? He didn't play tonight. Right. Had a high ankle sprain. If he's healthy, it's a great ball game. Right. If he's not healthy, we'll just have to see. Right. Because he does make a difference.
Yeah,
he
certainly.
does.
Yeah, certainly. And I don't know. This is all speculation. I'm guessing if they thought he was maybe questionable for today, maybe give him 7 more days, and hopefully he'll be ready next week, knowing the importance of next week's game. Once again, not really sure, but I did see some of the Hanley coaches there yesterday. I didn't want to ask if he'll play or not in that game, but some of the Hanley coaches were there yesterday, obviously scouting Anniston, with that big matchup. They want to see them with their own eyes.
He's going to be out there.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be out there, and it's not I know how Coach Smith is, Steve. It's not a moral victory. But Piedmont will not face another defense in 3A football with this type of speed all over the field. So it's going to be good for them down the road, maybe next week. They're not going to see that kind of defense.
Speaking of 4A Region 4, region rundown, and there it is, guys, right there. Anniston 3-0, 6-0. Hanley 2-0 in the region, 6-0 overall. Then you got Munford. They took a non-region. All these were non-region games tonight. Munford, Cleveland County, Jacksonville. Jacksonville's already played the top 2 teams and lost. So look for Jacksonville to kind of probably move up a little bit on the ladder. But it really, for all intents and purposes, guys, it comes down to that Anniston-Hanley game.
Yeah, it's one of the bigger, not only just the biggest, I think, game just overall, but I think there's so many interesting dynamics going into this. Because keep in mind, both teams all these teams are in the South. And so as it figures in with the bracket and whatnot, we'll see, what the second seed means. Does the second seed mean you have to go further south? Well, all that's still left to be played out there, but there's so many interesting dynamics that not only play out for the game next week, but as we go into playoffs, who sits on that one line, who sits on that two line, I think will be really important as the playoffs matriculate.
And next week, also in 4A Region 6, Coach, you and I have been talking about this one a lot. Well, we've got about 4 regions that could be decided next week here in East Alabama. 4A Region 6 is another one of them because, again, look at the top, Etowah, Aniana. That is next week. Gilbert Stadium at Aniana, Cherokee County looming. There's a potential that there could be a 3-way tie for first in that region, but that's another huge game in the north. That's in North Alabama, Etowah and Aniana.
What you've got happening right now, next week, all week this week really, is you've got coaches in the South and we got coaches in the North that are already looking, guys, this is the game we got to have because we need to finish first or second. But to me, in the South this year, first is so important.
Right.
It's probably more important this year than it has been in about 3 or 4 years.
Right.
Because of, and they say they don't, but they're looking to the second round and the third round.
For sure.
Our group looks across the 3 and 4 and understands what 4 has in it and 3 has in it. So that's what these guys are doing. They're looking ahead because it's so important. So I tell you, there's some games this week that everybody's going to pull out everything they got to win. Right. There's not going to be anything held back. You can't now.
Yeah.
Especially when it becomes the first and second seed. This week we will see Hanley and Anniston throw everything out the door to try to win this football game. They're going to have to.
Right.
And the same thing you got going on up with Etowah in Cherokee County.
In Region 6, yeah.
Same thing.
And you also got, in 2A, you got B.B. Comer and Isabella. That may decide the region title in 2A Region 4. And then you've also got, coming up this week, Gadsden City and Hazel Green. That may decide the region title in Class 6A Region 8 as well. As we continue to look ahead, we're going to tell you that we've got some coaches standing by all over the place, but we need to tell you about Team 1 Automotive first. Team 1 Chevrolet in Gadsden. They are giving away some great stuff. They have a huge tailgate package, an Auburn or Alabama tailgate package ready for game day. Someone's going to win the grand prize also. That includes a grill, a generator, a big screen TV. Go to Chevrolet of Gadsden. Log on to there for complete details. Drop by Team 1 Chevrolet on East Meagan Boulevard in Gadsden, where everyone is a winner. When we come back, we've got coaches. We've got Jeff Smith of the Walter Welborn Panthers. We've also got Scott Martin of the Glencoe Yellow Jackets. Lots of football as we roll toward 12 midnight here live on Facebook and YouTube after the game.
Are you ready for some football? Come in all month long and take a test drive at Team 1 Chevrolet and have a chance to win an Alabama, Auburn tailgate, or the ultimate tailgate package. Log on to ChevroletofGadsden.com for complete details. Chevrolet of Gadsden, where everyone's a winner. Someone's going to win an Alabama tailgate, someone's going to win an Auburn tailgate, and somebody's going to win the ultimate grand prize, including grill, generator, and big screen TV. Chevrolet of Gadsden, home of the best people, the best service, period.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston. The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You will be glad you did.
Your home is a reflection of you, whether that's classic, farm style, or something unique. We at Ted's Carpet and Floor understand that, and we'll help you through the selection, finance, and installation process. We have an extensive selection of designer tiles, carpet, laminate, and hardwood. Let us help you choose the perfect granite or quartz to customize your kitchen or bathroom. We offer free in-home measurements, estimates, and design consultations. Ted's Carpet and Floor, your style, our passion.
We are back on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Gerhard Mathangani, the coach Michael Short, and the coach Jeff Smith, head coach of the Walter Welborn Panthers. Coach, welcome in. Congratulations. Homecoming tonight, right?
Yeah, Lord. And it's over. Thank the Lord. God.
Welborn wins tonight on the hill against Talladega. Big win for the Walter Welborn Panthers. Non-region win tonight, 48-28 over Talladega, as we welcome you into our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. Coach, before we talk about the game tonight, Gerhard Mathangani has got some highlights of the game tonight. This may be the first film you've seen tonight of some of this.
That's it.
Yeah, one of the good situations about these midweek games, you get to go up in classification, and you got a chance to face a really strong Talladega football team. Always great. Friday night, late September, on the hill. That's just a vibe in and of itself. And it was a great one today, especially for the Welborn Panthers. It was homecoming out at Welborn. 27th meeting between these two squads. Welborn has won 18 of them. This one, a big homecoming game for Welborn today. Before we get to the football, let's do a congratulations. This is Macon Cofield, your homecoming queen, right there in the middle. Congratulations to Macon, pulling double duty. She's the queen and then assumes her duties in the band. We'll start with Grayson Johnson, a big 15-yard run here and a tough run inside on Welborn's very first possession. That possession continues with this Xavier Parker run. 18 yards to the 18-yard line there for Parker. A little bit later, they go back to Johnson, and Coach, he is a weapon. 12-yard touchdown run. He's into the end zone for the first points of the game. 2-point conversion is good, and an early 8-0 lead for the Welborn Panthers. Once again, they go back to Johnson, and we've seen this play a million times with different quarterbacks, and Johnson, another one that can execute this one really well. A little bit later, it is Ahmad Noel. Watch him cut back right there. Turns on the Jets, a big 35-yard run deep into Talladega territory, down to the 20-yard line. A few plays later, it is Amarion Curry. First time he's in the highlight, and a touchdown for him, a 20-yard run. Once again, the 2-point conversion is good, and an early 16-0 lead for the Panthers. And Coach, you don't look happy right there, but I know you are as far as the execution goes with your squad. Some fight for the Talladega Tigers a little bit later on in the first quarter. This is Kenny Jackson to Jalen Lawson. Nice pitch and catch. Goes for a first down, but that drive would stall. A little bit later, it is Marion Curry right up the gut. 24-yard touchdown run. And the 2-point conversion capped off by Jabari Williams. And the touchdown, or the 2-point conversion, is good. It's a happy homecoming for Welborn. Got off to a fast start, and Coach, I know you love whenever teams get off to a quick start, they're able to execute your game plan. I don't know if you script your first few plays, but they did it perfectly there at the beginning. You see your final score, 48-28, and you got off to a great start, Coach.
Well, we did. You know, it was a hard week because, of course, you're dealing with homecoming, and you know. Enough said, right?
You gotta love it, Coach.
Yeah, love it all the way. But, you know, my house has been rolled 3 times this week.
That's what I was going to ask.
That's right, yeah. Look, and it's just me and Lisa at the house now. So when we hear them out there, I said, man, let's let them do it for a little while.
All right.
And then we let JJ out and let him chase them out the road, you know, a bit. So.
They were rookies, though, because they didn't do a great job. They didn't get as high in the trees. I've seen pictures.
Oh,
Your wife put all of them on Facebook.
Yeah, well, anyway, I mean, so you had homecoming to deal with. And then, of course, Talladega's coming in. And, the thing with homecoming is this. The players can't be like everybody else because they got to play the game.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And I say that. I don't know if it gets listened to or not. But anyway, we got in the game and we got on them 24-0. And then we kind of made a few mistakes. And actually, we lost 3 fumbles and had an interception tonight. Mm-hmm. So that was 4 turnovers right there. And then Talladega, to their credit, they didn't turn the ball over tonight. Well,
right.
I think they had 1 turnover, and they didn't turn the ball over like they've been doing, and executed well. Right. And they also came out and they spread the field a little bit more than what we were anticipating. So we had to adjust to that.
Right.
But anyway, with the mistakes made and everything, we still won. I remember Coach Higginbotham, the coach that was at Hueytown for so long, he was older when I was coaching there, and he would come by the field house there, and I'd go out and bring him in, and we'd sit and talk a lot. And he always told me, he said, one game of the year, you're going to be standing on that sideline. Everything you do is going to work. Then one night, you're going to get out there, and everything that you do is not going to work, and you better be better than the team that you're playing. And I think that might have been the case for us tonight.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Coach, I'm going to go back just for a second to last week's game. It's Dadeville.
Right.
Okay, that's a disappointing loss for your
it
team.
was.
But for them to have homecoming this week, deal with homecoming, and deal with a loss, and then come back with a win, I think that's the positive side. The spin of the positive side
you're
of
right,
that,
Coach. Yeah.
For them to do that,
Absolutely.
and that's a testament to your young
and,
players.
And I'll quote Coach Burgess on that. Coach Burgess said, "Dang, I can learn from winning just like I can from losing."
Yep, exactly right.
And I told the players that tonight. I said we can learn from a win just like we can a loss, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You're right, because last week was a hard-fought game. It was a very physical game, and it was an emotional game. And we came out on the short end of it. And then we had homecoming. And then, and they start the dance at 9 o'clock and the game's not over, and
Maybe they were ready to dance a little bit.
I guess so. I don't know.
Coach, but watching some of the tape there, and everybody knows Wellborn football. You want to run the football.
Absolutely.
But what I've seen just from those highlights there, you're going to have big plays, but you got some guys getting downfield and blocking. I've seen that right there real quick. Linemen, not only linemen, but receivers and backs blocking for each other. And that's a testament to Wellborn football because it's all about a team working together to make that happen. So I witnessed that just watching that tape about how well y'all blocked on the perimeter and downfield.
Well, yeah, and we are a team, and we really stress that to them. And, we got 4 things that we try to build a team off of is be a team, be tough, work hard, and have class. And those are the 4 things that are 4 foundations that we build our team off of.
And those are the foundations of any team.
That's right.
I mean, that's what you got to have.
Any winning team.
Any winning team.
That's right.
You're exactly right.
Coach, what's every team's different. No matter how many people you have coming back, every team's got a different kind of chemistry, so to speak.
Yeah,
what's your you've been a roller coaster ride already this year. You had a lot of good highs and some lows, things like that. What's your assessment here, kind of the midway point of the personality, if you will, of this team?
I think it's still shaping. We mentioned that Dadeville game. I sure wish we could have played that game 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Instead of game 4.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think we're still trying to find ourselves. And, I felt like during that game that I could feel the other team's maturity a little bit. They were a little bit more mature than we are. Well, they're a little older. And I could sense it in the game, especially late there in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
And, I think that if we could have had, played them game 8 or game 9, I think then you get that experience under your belt, and I think you play better. Our team, I think you start with Grayson. Grayson's our quarterback, and boy, he's a competitor. He is a competitor, and he's a fighter out there. And man, like tonight after the game's over, he was in the locker room. He was all down and dejected. He said, "Coach, I just didn't play good." Well, I thought Grayson played pretty good in the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he did. But he's a competitor, and he's a perfectionist, and he's real hard on himself.
Well, he's taking ownership.
Oh, he does. Now he does do that. He sure does. Now another thing too, this year too, we've got several backs that can actually run the football for us. So it's just not like a one-man show. So we're able to spread the ball out a good bit.
Yeah, you actually teed up my next question because you have guys like Amarion Curry and Xavier Parker. Talk about the running styles and how it gives you flexibility as a head coach to be able to call different plays because they run different.
Owen and Xavier have been playing, they've been playing since they were in the 3rd grade.
Right.
And, when Jet was playing junior B football and everything, we would go to the games, and we were always supposed to be there like 2 hours before they ever played. So we would get I watched every one of the Pee Wee games. So Owen Xavier was always playing beforehand, so I saw every one of their games all the way up.
Right.
And they complement each other very well. Now the surprise is Ahmad.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Look, Ahmad, hey, he weighs 120 pounds and he can bench press 225.
Wow.
Yes, and I'm so proud of him. And, you know, he has always been on the team, and he's always been there with us, and he's always worked, but he's never really got to play a whole lot. And lo and behold, he's stuck with it, and he's a senior, and he's a starting wingback. And I'm telling you what, now he's fast.
Yeah, I saw that highlight where
very fast. Yeah,
he got good vision too.
Yeah, and he was on our 4x1 team that got third in the state.
Right.
And man, I tell you what, he's fast, he's tough. And I tell you what, he's very likable. I mean, I think a lot of him.
And in today's game, in today's society, he persevered. He stuck with it.
Yeah.
He didn't run off.
Absolutely.
He stayed with it.
Absolutely.
And he made something happen.
Absolutely. He's what I'd like to call a program player. He got in there in the 7th grade. He didn't start in junior high. He didn't start on the B team. But lo and behold, he stuck with it. He's come up his senior year, and he's starting for us.
Coach, he's a Wellborn Panther.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And I'm very proud of him for doing that. And, you know, and when you coach, and Coach, you know exactly what I'm supposed to say. When you have a player that comes through your program and then he just won't quit, and then he ends up playing for you, boy, you kind of root for those guys.
You do. You need more of them.
Absolutely.
You got to have a whole team full of those.
That's right.
Coach, rest of the season, this region, we've talked about it a lot, probably talked it to death about how they split the region as far as Calhoun County teams. You lost a lot of rivals. You gained some teams you didn't know a whole lot about. You got one of those teams next week. Take us through this back half of region play.
Well, you know, you mentioned, I want to back up on this when you say we mentioned we lost some rival games and stuff. Well, I did purposely, our non-region, I tried to schedule as many rivalry games as I could, you know, with Anniston being the first ball game. And look, here's the deal too with Anniston. All right, everybody on the planet knew Anniston was fixing to have a good team this year. Okay, because you know, those guys that they got, they've had them for 3 years.
Right.
Okay, so everybody knew they were going to be good. Now, if you want to have a rivalry game, you got to play them when they're good and when they're bad. You don't just schedule somebody. Well, I can beat them, you know. But so we went ahead and scheduled Anderson first and made that because that's a rivalry game. Ohatchee, you know, that's developed into a good rival. We got them game 2. Talladega and Wellborn has played. You know, we played. I got to tell y'all this story. Y'all got to hear this right here. Okay. Now, I was fortunate if I played on some very good Wellborn teams. We were playing Talladega at Wellborn. Okay, we beat them like 21-6. During the game, I made about 10 tackles in the game, but I missed about 10. Yes. All right, so we're coming off the field, and all the guys are there at the fence slapping me on the pads. Good game, Jeff, way to go. And I got to the door, and there was my mother. And listen,
keep it real.
Yeah, I hope she,
I know your mom.
I hope she can hear this because she was leaned up against the door and she goes, "Don't listen to them." And I just looked there and she goes, "That wasn't your best game, and I'll see you at 11," and walked off. So as far as getting cocky, that was broke right then. Yeah, that happened. So anyway, Wellborn and Talladega's played a long time.
Right.
And that was always a big rivalry with when Coach Dupree was the coach at Wellborn, and even when Coach Bowles was our coach there, because he played at Sylacauga, and Talladega was a big rival, so he always wanted to play Talladega.
Right.
All right, and then the last ball game, we're playing Cleveland County again, and man, we used to have some epic battles with Cleveland County through the years.
Oh, boy.
Man, we did. And so, I mean, so that was a good to be able to get them back on the schedule. So I feel like we got our, you know, rivalry games up and everything. Now, to your question about the second half of this region play, you know, we got Childersburg is going to have a lot of good team speed, and we got to go play them there, and we haven't been there. Now, back in the 60s, Wellborn and Childersburg played a lot. You know, that was another big rival game, so we're going to get to play that again. The next week, we're going to play Randolph County, and gosh, I swear we have fought it out with them so many times. Man, I'm telling you, that 2019 quarterfinal game when we played Randolph County, and we were fortunate enough to beat them there. I don't know if we beat them there or not, but we won the game. But the next week we played Piedmont in the semifinals right there, and we didn't have nothing left in the tank after that.
And y'all are a lot alike.
Yeah.
Y'all and Randolph County are so similar.
Oh, we just went out there in 2019 when we played them at quarterfinals. It's just line up and just who was going to who was going to break.
Right.
And by the time we left Randolph County going into Cleveland County, everybody on the bus was asleep.
Wow.
They were asleep.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it wasn't like a big celebration going on the way back home. They were all asleep. You know, so that's the kind of games we have with them. All right, so that's Randolph County. Then we'll pick back up with Weaver. Of course, there's a rivalry we've always had. And then we got Sachs at the end of the region play. So those are our next 4 region games. So they're going to be some good ones.
Definitely.
Coach, you have, we always ask a lighthearted question here. So here's my lighthearted question for you today. You have, if folks don't know, and I'll tell you, Coach looks good. He's lost some weight.
Yeah.
You're looking in phenomenal condition, Coach.
Well, I'm not having a midlife crisis. I'm just trying to stay here longer.
And so here's my question. But when you get to have, Coach, when you get to have that one meal, when you maybe get off the diet, when you get to cheat a little bit.
It was modest tonight.
Okay.
There
so
we go.
I was going to say, what is
special pizza is the best.
Okay, I was going to say, what is the meal, Coach? What is the meal?
That's it, Modest Pizza. Love it.
Do you get the Greek salad?
Special. And the Greek salad, yes.
And the Greek salad.
Yes,
and how about the garlic bread?
No, I can't eat that much bread. So my diet that I went on is I can have 1 helping of bread a day and 1 sweet thing a day. And so when I eat the pizza, there's my bread. I can't have anything more than that.
Even on Fridays?
Even on Friday.
Man, you're a disciplined guy. I like that.
Yes. Yeah. Well, but now look at here. When I started this was October 1, 2020. So this coming week will be 2 years. Okay? All right. I don't mind saying it. Look, I weighed 310 pounds. Okay? Wow. I weighed 245 this morning.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Wow.
That's great.
Okay, yes, yeah. All right, so now I still got 5 more to go. I wanted to break 240. So, but now it's been hard. I'm going to tell you, it was hard when I saw that pizza today, man.
Last but not least, Coach, before we let you get out of here, I have a message from Namath Pitts. He is in Philadelphia, New York, way up there, and he said to make sure to tell you hello, that he's watching tonight, and he's saying go Panthers. So
there
that's
you go.
from Namath.
All
right, good way to
once a Panther, always a Panther.
Coach, thank you for being with us here after the game.
Appreciate
Congratulations on the big win.
Thank y'all.
Best wishes to you and your team the rest of the year. The Calhoun County Commission brings you after the game Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, J.D. Hess, Lee Patterson. Great supporters, as Coach Smith will tell you, of high school athletics and high schools in our communities here in Calhoun County. The Calhoun County Commission bringing you after the game here on High School Football Alabama. When we come back, we'll talk Glencoe High School football. The head coach of the Yellow Jackets, Scott Martin, is live in studio. That's next on After the Game.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, or Roanoke. And don't forget about our low price guarantee.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You will be glad you did.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment. with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Back on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Again, Gerhard Mathangani, Coach Michael Short, and also Coach Scott Martin with us, head coach of the Glencoe Yellow Jackets. Coach, glad to have you with us here late on this football Friday night. Homecoming tonight?
It was.
I was by Glencoe today.
You probably saw the balloons.
I saw the balloons. I was going down Lonesome Bend Road about 10:15 this morning, and I saw all the balloons out, and I thought, it's homecoming at Glencoe too.
Yes.
Scott Martin's probably a happy guy, I'm sure.
Oh, it's been great.
But you beat Holly Pond tonight. Tell us about the game.
Well, when you go into football games, especially when you haven't had a lot of success over the last few years, I mean, every game is super important, and then it becomes a homecoming game, and so there's a lot of things going on during the week that are non-football, and just like Coach Smith was talking about it, and you're trying to control your players, but at the same time, you're also trying to let them enjoy homecoming. But I've always told our players, hey, homecoming is exactly that. It's for those coming home, not the ones that are already there. But we have a lot of activities planned at school, and it was a great week. Well, as long as practice was good, I was okay with it. And practice was real good all week. And I thought that the guys came out and played and took care of their business and did what they were supposed to. We had to get used to the little speed, out of the quarterback. Holly Pond's quarterback is like a water bug, and I mean, it's like I called him Johnny Manziel Jr. all week because he runs all over the field, and it's quite a player. And once we were able to wear them down a little bit, we were able to take control of the game.
It's been a while since Glencoe has scored 54 points a game. Win the game tonight over the Broncos 54-20. That had to instill a lot of confidence in the team to score 54 points.
Well, I think so. I mean, I think our kids were excited. I think our community was excited. Be able to go out and execute and do the things we need to do offensively. And then, like I said, once we were able to kind of get the speed of the game with them after the first couple of series, our defense stepped it up and played real well the rest of the game. So I was excited with the outcome. We took care of the business we were supposed to take care of and got the win. And that's the first homecoming win in several years there. So that was exciting for the kids.
Gerhard's going to take us out to Wilson Darnell Field in Glencoe for the highlights of the game. Balloons and all at Wilson Darnell Field tonight. Big night for Glencoe.
Yeah, first Yellow Jacket homecoming for Coach Scott Martin. You have to navigate these things. And Coach will tell you, we heard it from Coach Smith a minute ago. We heard it from Coach Martin. Coach Short knows as well. Let's go out to homecoming. The good thing about homecoming is it comes with a lot of nice, cool festivities, cool traditions. This is the senior moms representing their players there. And then also honorary captains from the 1970s. So you blend in a lot of tradition, and that's a good part about homecoming. Glencoe starting off hot here. There's Noah Fairley running with the ball and gets the Glencoe first down. Next play, Fairley once again showing off the legs. And another big run here. Breaks out of that tackle, Coach, and I know you love that toughness.
I do.
Takes it in.
I do.
4-6. Glencoe on the board early on. A little fire play right here on the two-point conversion. Just out of the reach there. So Glencoe on the board first, though. Early 6-0 lead at homecoming. Hollybaum with the ball on their ensuing possession. It is Damian Raymond. Up the gut here for Holly Pond. Picks up the big first down. Next play, it is Sawyer Ollinger, number 15. Coach talked about him earlier with his running ability. Here he throws the football. Diego Garcia on the receiving end. And he takes it in for the touchdown here. Their extra point was good, so a slim 1-point lead there for Holly Pond. Glencoe back on offense is Aaron Mann getting the ball right here. A big first down run here. I know you like to see that, Coach, as he picks up about 21 yards there and a first down. 2 plays later, you see, Bailey Moore's out there. You saw her dodging that, but got the shot. 2 plays later, Glencoe puts the ball right back in the man's hands, and that's a good decision as he goes it in for the touchdown. And that sign right there, that sign is right. You will see more of that man. Yellow Jacket, 13-7 lead there. Holly Pond going back to work. Ollinger finding Colin Brown. It is a big first down there as Brown paints the sideline. A few plays later, Holly Pond would score as Ollinger finds his way into the end zone, calling his own number. They're on 1st and goal, so the Broncos take the lead 14-13. Coach Scott Martin there dialing up some plays. And hey, Coach, I like the gold look there with the polo. Glencoe now back on offense and is fairly working there for the first down. And we said earlier, that sign was not lying. You'll see man once again, and here's man. And a great block there on the outside. Absolutely pancakes this guy. And man goes into the end zone for the touchdown. That is the one that takes the lead, and Coach, you would end up winning that game. The only homecoming that coaches like is one that wins. It's a happy homecoming indeed in Glencoe, as 54-20 is your final score there from homecoming. And Coach, I know this is your first one here at Glencoe. It was really cool to see some of those traditions, like the senior moms representing their players, the honorary captains as well. And you're a guy that respects history and tradition of the sport, and I'm sure you loved it.
I do. One thing I can't say enough about our senior moms.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, our senior moms do so much for our players. They come in every Thursday and decorate the locker room for the boys, and basically, put all kind of inspirational sayings up, and then they go and pray over the lockers and in the locker room and pray for the boys' safety and stuff. And and then of course they get together. And last night over at one of our parents' house, we had a senior and coaches homecoming supper, and so they do so much for those young men that are. I won't say it's uncalled for, but it's not, it's not common all the time. And so, we take it for granted sometimes, but it's really apprecited. And just for them to reach out like they do, and they've had some hard times around Glencoe lately, so for them to keep those traditions up mean a lot to me too.
Right. And the senior ones are always the ones that I always pay attention to, because whenever there is a coaching change, people talk about the future, and they like to forecast 3 years down the road.
Right.
Those seniors don't have 3 years; they have 10 games.
I made that commitment. When I came in, I told our seniors that we were gonna. I wasn't. I'm coming in to build a program.
Correct.
But I'm not coming in to dismiss those young men that are there. They'd won 4 games in their 3 years in high school, and so we've won half as many as that already. And so I told them we were going to come in and do everything we could to get them some success and to have a senior year that they would remember, one that would put them more out on a positive note than what they've had.
Right.
Coach, the one thing that all y'all stole my questions, but when a new coach comes in, especially you, one that likes to go build a program, you got to build a program, and we got to let those seniors be a part of it, but you got to build that foundation.
Right.
And that foundation is built on those seniors of that class, because they're going to look back one day and say, I helped start what Coach Martin come here to build.
Yes.
So, they may not see 10 wins.
Right.
But they're going to be a part of that foundation of them 10 wins on down the line.
Exactly. And we've talked about that. And I'm will be forever indebted to those 11 seniors that we do have. And, we've lost a couple of injury already this year, but, they're there. All 11 were present tonight in one way or the other. And it is one of those things where they are setting the foundation for our program. And so we want to get them as many wins as we can, but they also, they're setting, we were talking about how they dress, how they eat, how they walk, how they talk, what they are in the community, what my expectations are and our coaches' expectations are probably a little bit different than what they've had in the past. So when you come in and technically I'm the 4th coach in the last 4 years, it's been so much turnover, and the way they've bought in and the way they've just embraced us in the last 3 months has meant a lot to me, and it's also showing in the way that we're playing football. It doesn't always come out with a win, but the competitiveness and the belief that every week we go into the game, we've got a chance to win the football game, and that's how we go into every week.
Coach, we're going to take a look graphically here, region rundown. We're going to take a look at your region. We'll also spend some time looking at the other 3A region, because you've got experience with a lot of those teams as well, as we try to run those down. But your region, 3A Region 6, as we mentioned with Coach Smith, split. And so you got a lot of Sand Mountain teams, a lot of teams from DeKalb County here. You're going to jump back into that next week. And by the way, Sylvania tonight beat undefeated Pisgah.
No, they beat Pisgah.
They
I
beat
saw
Pisgah.
that. I saw that.
And so tell us about your kind of thoughts of the region there. Of course, Piedmont right now at the top. But after Piedmont, you've got there's a log jam of teams in there. And kind of your assessment of this region here.
Well, I mean, you know, when I went into this region, I mean, I felt like that 2 of the playoff teams out of our old region and 2 of our non-playoff teams left the region. And then you brought in 4 new teams, which were all playoff teams in their respective regions and classes. So I felt like, okay, you went from 2 playoff teams to bring in 4 more playoff teams, which to me just, you know, clouded the picture a lot more and you know, put a lot more stress on us. And I'm going to tell you, the region is as strong, and you can see, I mean, there's no undefeated team in our region as far as their overall schedule, which is unusual. I mean, and there are some good football teams there, but they've played good competition. But at the same time, you know, some of them are beating each other. I mean, when you look down there and see, what is that, 4 2-1s already, you know, in that region, it's such a log jam. And then, of course, you know, Plainview and us and Ohatchee are pulling up the rear, but all 3 of those bottom 3 teams are competitive football teams.
Yes.
I played Plainview last week, and we lost 28-7, but you know, we had our opportunities, but they're not that far behind some of those other teams that we've already played. So I'm sure there's going to be more shakeup before this year ends.
And let's go to 3A Region 4 in just a second. We're going to take a look at that region because you're familiar with a lot of those teams because you played and competed and butted heads with some of those teams. Some of those teams not way down south, Beulah, Dadeville, Childersburg, folks like that. But teams like Weaver and Sachs and Walter Welborn, you're familiar with those through the years. That region, as we take a look at those region standings, is pretty competitive too. It's been kind of there's not right now a little separation there maybe from Dadeville and Randolph County, but then after that you've got really up in there who's going to be maybe the 3rd and 4th teams, even the 2nd team.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, you know, Randolph County, you know, they were real strong back when we were playing, when they were in my region. And then we turned around and they went back down to AA for a couple of years, and you know, and they were down a year or 2, but they've come storming back here, and they're back in 3A, and obviously they've got another good football team. And then Sachs is a young football team that had a lot of seniors last year, but they've come in, and obviously, you know, 4-2, 2-1. They're on the right track, on their way to making the playoffs probably. And then Welborn, I think, is a good, strong, always fundamental football team that, you know, they can beat anybody that's on that schedule. And I played Dadeville, but it was years ago when I was at Calera, you know, and so it's funny that, you know, it goes back around. But I think I saw Weaver got a win tonight.
They did.
And, you know, so, you know, regardless of where you are in the top and bottom of some of these regions, both of these regions have good football teams from top to bottom. Every game is tough. Every game.
Coach, when the region you went into, and when we were talking up during the media days, people would say, well, he's going into, I mean, Glencoe's going into a new region. But to me, the region you went into, not every one of them, but 3 or 4 of those guys in that region are very similar to what you like to do. Line up, hard-nosed football, and it's going to always give you a chance, especially as you get, you know, as the years go by and you get what you want to do established. But a lot of those mountain teams, as we call them, everybody calls them, are going to play the way you want to play with that hard-nosed physicality football.
And they do, and you know, I think of Geraldine and those guys that play that way. It's always been the way that they go. I know that Plainview, even though they're an option football team, they are, because they are a run-it-right-at-you football team, or going to be a physical football team. Same thing with Sylvania. So a lot of those teams do play the same way that we do. So, you know, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the future. But like I said, we've still got, you know, another, you know, we're halfway through the season, which is hard to believe already.
Yes.
But here we are getting ready to start the back half of the region play here, you know, next week.
And you still got some more, I call them phone booth games. You still got some more of them games where y'all going to line up in a phone booth and it's going to be a fight. You got more of those in front of you.
I mean, it's going to happen. We're going to play Sylvania next week, and then we've got Piedmont at home, and of course, you know, we've got Ohatchee coming in, and thank goodness they're coming to Glencoe, just because I hope I can. I don't know if I'd make it out of Ohatchee this year, but I'm glad. But you know, that's going to be regardless of the records. You can, you know, that's going to be one of those games in 3 weeks. You can just throw out all the records. It's not going to matter what the records are. That's going to be a hard hitting football game.
Coach, when I go, get out here on the light note, when I go to stores, I go to the stores like in Birmingham and stuff, and I see all these things that say lake life, lake living, the lake is the place. I love living on the lake. I like the lake, you know, and all this. And not all of us are as blessed as you are to live on the lake. Mm-hmm. And so what is it, tell from Scott Martin's perspective, what is it about the lake? What do you like about living on the lake? What, that lake life that they talk about, what is that to Scott Martin?
It's just, it's to be able to watch sunsets and sunrises, drink your coffee. It's quiet. It's peaceful. It's beautiful. I mean, it's all those things, you know. So when you have a chance to enjoy that, you know, I try to take all that in. You know, I'm not ready to be a retired football coach, but there are days that I like being retired on the lake, I can tell you. And
I would imagine that before you get into the chaos of football season every day, or when you come home on a night like tonight and wake up in the morning where you got a little bit of time, that has got to be almost like medicine to you.
It is. It is. It's the wind down.
Yes.
It's the wind down. You know, it's just like Coach Smith and them are, you know, he's going to go finish some work tonight, and then they're off to go see Jet play down in Thibodaux, Louisiana. That's a 6.5-hour drive nonstop. So it's going to take 8 hours to get there. You know, I've done that. But the thing is that I'll take tomorrow, and it's that lake life. It's relaxed, okay? And then I'll be done, and then all of a sudden my engine will be ready to go on Sunday. You know, after everybody gets back and we get done for church, we're off to go do football the rest of the afternoon. And, you know, I really enjoy my Saturdays.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because it's the lake, but it's also some football.
Well, Gerhard and I don't know. I've had a little bit of my dad being a coach, but I haven't lived that like you and Coach Short have of the coach's life, and nobody really knows until you've lived it how hard it is, especially in season.
Well, it is hard in season, but and it's not easy when you're winning all the time. And you know, people always say, golly, you know, it's such a tough year for you, or you're having a tough year, or you're whatever. And I said, you know, some of the toughest years are the years that you're going 10-0 or 9-1.
Yeah.
Those are the toughest years.
Yeah, right.
Those are the ones that, you know, football coaches never get to enjoy victories. They really don't. Mm-hmm. They're always thinking about what they could have done better, or they're thinking about the next one or the next one. Because everybody, once you start winning, everybody expects you to win all the time. So you're constantly not enjoying it. And Coach will tell you, the only time you enjoy it is when it's over. When the season's over, you look back and kind of reminisce about what's going on. And so I've tried to take and enjoy every victory now and take it in, because, you know, I come in tonight, it's 54-20. We've made mistakes, you know, and the first thing we start talking about as coaches is mistakes we've made. And I told our coaches tonight, whoa, stop. 54-20. We won the game.
Right.
Go home and enjoy the win.
Yeah.
You know, the kids are enjoying it, and they should enjoy it. I said, we'll come back and be critics on Sunday afternoon. I said, but go home and enjoy the win, because right now they're few and far between. They have been, and we're trying to change that culture. But it is funny how we don't always enjoy the wins, and it doesn't matter whether you're winning or losing. Coaching is just you know, I know that everybody's talked about Coach Saban's 24-hour rule, but the reality of it is it's like that. It's if you don't move on, you can't get lost in the week before, in that funk of the week before. It's just, okay, it's over, put it in the back burner, file it away, let's go to the next one.
Coach, we're going to let you go enjoy it.
Appreciate it.
And live that lake life.
There you go. Thank you.
Coach Scott Martin,
Thank
head
you,
coach
guys.
of the Glen Cove Yellow Jackets.
Appreciate it.
Winners tonight over Holly Pond out at Wilson Darnell Field by a score of 54-20. Crawford Office Supply. Speaking of comfortable, we're sitting here in these comfortable chairs, and you can go get something like what we've got here at Crawford Office Supply right there on South Layton Avenue in Anniston, right off of Quintard behind Betty's Barbecue. CrawfordOfficeSupply.com. Call them at 237-3310. Furniture, scratch and dent furniture, and new furniture, supplies, janitorial, all available at Crawford Office Supply. More of high school football Alabama after the game as we roll on a Football Friday night.
Your home is a reflection of you, whether that's classic, farm style, or something unique. We at Ted's Carpet and Floor understand that, and we'll help you through the selection, finance, and installation process. We have an extensive selection of designer tiles, carpet, laminate, and hardwood. Let us help you choose the perfect granite or quartz to customize your kitchen or bathroom. We offer free in-home measurements, estimates, and design consultations. Ted's Carpet and Floor, your style, our passion.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cash Back account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. Noblebank.com. Member FDIC.
Anniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Anniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Anniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.annistonortho.com. Anniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
Are you ready for some football? Come in all month long and take a test drive at Team 1 Chevrolet and have a chance to win an Alabama, Auburn tailgate, or the ultimate tailgate package. Log on to ChevroletofGadsden.com for complete details. Chevrolet of Gadsden, where everyone's a winner. Someone's going to win an Alabama tailgate, someone's going to win an Auburn tailgate, and somebody's going to win the ultimate grand prize, including grill, generator, and big screen TV. Chevrolet of Gadsden, home of the best people, the best service, period.
After the game, rolling on a Football Friday night on YouTube and Facebook, Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware scoreboard. All the finals are in now. Let's roll through those tonight. Number 1 Piedmont in Class 3A losing to Anniston last night 30-28. Also tonight, it was Hoax Bluff on homecoming beating White Plains 30-16. Oxford lost their homecoming. Hartselle 52 unanswered points as they roll over Oxford tonight. 69-21. Highlights of that game on the way. Welborn beating Talladega 48-28 was the final score. Sachs tonight, a winner over BB Comer 28-0. Jacksonville beating Ohatchee. That was 35-6. Jacksonville wins the game up at Golden Eagle Stadium. Central of Clay County will have highlights of that game coming. They beat Alexandria tonight in the first meeting ever between the Vols and Cubs. 21-7 the final. Weaver gets win number 1 at Asbury, 46-8. Jacksonville Christian, we were looking for this score. They remain undefeated. The Thunder now 6-0 as they beat East Central Christian tonight on homecoming at JCA, 53-42. Ragland shutting down Pleasant Valley 32-6. In overtime, Randolph County beats Wadley 34-28. Hanley shutting out Lynette 37-0. Leeds all over Sylacauga 51-7. Horseshoe Bend beat Fayetteville 48-20. Vincent, a big winner for the first time since 1947 over Childersburg 42-13. Winnebago upends Oakman 26-20. Tomorrow, ASD and the Louisiana School for the Deaf in Talladega. Summerton Christian blasting TCC tonight 54-21. Cherokee County wins another homecoming over Munford 56-26. High-scoring game in Pell City tonight. Eufaula outshoots Pell City tonight 54-35. Victory comes from behind to beat Galesville 19-16. Moody remains undefeated, 47-7 winners over Shelby County. Aniana beats Springville 53-22. Elmore County comes in, and they keep St. Clair County winless, winning the game 35-13. Hayden 28-6 winners over Asheville. West End breaking a 20-game losing streak to Sandrock. They had lost to the Wildcats 20 times in a row. Not tonight. West End rolls at Sandrock 44-21. Spring Garden gets win number 5 of the year as they beat Cedar Bluff for the 3rd time in a row, 41-12. Collinsville beats Gaston 48-12. Glencoe, as you saw the highlights, over Holly Pond 54-20. Southside, a 3-touchdown winner over Boaz 41-20. Westbrook Christian beats Section 59-6. Coosa, tough game tonight. They almost win the game at Gatlinburg, Pittman, Tennessee, playing in the Smokies tonight. The Highlanders beat Coosa Christian 28-24. Hillcrest Tuscaloosa, highlights of this game on the way tonight from Titan Stadium. They beat the Gadsden City Titans 45-19. Sardis, a winner over Brewer 12-7. Games around the state last night. Highland Home beat Brantley 28-27. Also was Gordo, a winner over Pickens County 54-18. Ariton beat Strawn 28-14. Auburn, 3 touchdowns better than Ramsey, 42-21. The score in that game. Hoover beats Mountain Brook, a top 5 matchup between a 7A and a 6A, as Hoover beats Mountain Brook 26-14. It was Theodore beating Opelika tonight. That was 34-24. Pinson Valley beats Homewood 21-13. And defending 7A state champion Thompson beating defending 6A and number 1 ranked Clay Chalkwell tonight, ending the state's longest current active win streak, 17-14, with a goal line stand at the end of the game down at Thompson to win that football game. Our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week this week is going to be quarterback Jim Ogle of the Jacksonville High School Golden Eagles. Last Friday night, they won at home 76-21 against Talladega at Golden Eagle Stadium. He was 8 out of 9 passing for 153 yards. Then he had 84 yards rushing and 2 more touchdowns. He accounted for 5 touchdowns total in that game as Jacksonville rolled to a school record 76 points in that 76-21 win over Talladega. Quarterback Jim Ogle, the junior, is our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week. We have a great plaque courtesy of Awards to Remember and Farmers and Merchants Bank headed his way. Let's tell you also about Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware. They have the best brand name. If you're doing a remodel, if you're doing a house, a brand new house you're building from scratch, if you've just got a few little minor things you need to take care of around your home, doesn't matter. Oxford Lumber has you covered top to bottom, small projects and big projects, the names you know and trust. They have 4 locations, Oxford obviously, Jacksonville, also in Talladega and in Roanoke. Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware, your source for all home improvement projects. Check out those folks today. Time now for our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden Extra Point. Class 1A Otagoville set an AHSAA state record last Friday night with 4 interception returns for touchdowns, including a 100-yard return. In the Eagles' 49-6 win over rival Billingsley there in Otago County, Otagoville's Jaden Nixon also tied an individual state record with 2 pick-6 returns. There's no listing in the NFHS National Record Book for single-game interception returns for touchdowns. You would have to believe that Otagoville would be close to the top. More of After the Game as we roll on a Football Friday night.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You will be glad you did. When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, Roanoke, and don't forget about our low price guarantee.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cashback account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. noblebank.com. Member FDIC.
All right, Class 2A Region 4 is a look at Region Rundown now, joined back here by Coach Michael Short. We mentioned next week, of course, we want to remind folks, no region games in the state plate at all this week. Next week, Coach, that might be the region title game. BB Comer and Isabella, both teams have been very impressive. Even though Comer lost tonight to Sachs, they're still undefeated in region play.
Yeah, and you got, just by looking at it, you know that those two right there are sitting at the top. They're probably wasn't that way at the beginning of the year, but now you got to look at them at 3-0. They're sitting there, you know, controlling their own destiny for first and second.
A lot to be decided beyond that, too. Vincent won tonight, beat Childersburg for the first time since 1947. Ranburn had an open date. They're still lurking there at 2-1. And Thorsby at 2-1. Coach, there's a lot to be decided as far as positions go in Class 2A Region 4.
Yeah, you got 5 teams right there you look at right now that are playoff-type teams, and one of them is not going to be there at the end.
Class 2A Region 6 as we move north now. Southeastern won again tonight. Cleveland took a loss to their arch rival up the road, J.B. Pennington. West End, the team to watch there. And then you got Locust Fork, Pleasant Valley, Gaston, Holly Pond. Much like Region 4, Coach, still a lot to be decided here. Even the region title, you know, Southeastern and Cleveland were at the top of this region last year along with Spring Garden, but Spring Garden moved back down to 1A. West End, Derek Sewell. That is a team to watch. They've been playing some really good football, and I think he's in the process. I think this is kind of, Coach, the turnaround season for West End.
It is, and it was a lot like what we talked about with Coach Martin. He's a new guy trying to get his culture going there, and he's done a great job. You know, I've seen them play on film, and they're doing some things that they haven't done here before. But you know, again, there's another region there. I still think Pleasant Valley can make some noise and find their way into the playoffs.
Absolutely. Now we're going to look at our awards to remember. East Alabama Top 10. Gerhard is out on this segment. Coach is with me on this, and we're going to look at our top 10. Not a lot of changes, but we do have one team falling out, one new team in. And that new team that's coming in is going to be a team that won again big tonight, Coach. We haven't talked a lot about them, but the Southside Crimson Panthers here lost their first game to Guntersville, who's really good in Class 5A, and they haven't lost since.
Well, I think you're just seeing a team that's a veteran team that just got started off, not knowing exactly what they want to do, coaching staff offensively, but I think they figured it out now, and I think they're a team that can definitely make a lot of noise in the playoffs.
Some teams moving up. Number 9 now, the Etowah Blue Devils. They had an open date tonight, getting ready for that big game with Aniana next week. Number 8 in our East Alabama top 10, Jacksonville had a win tonight over Ohatchee. Homecoming at Jacksonville tonight as well. Number 7, the Piedmont Bulldogs. Now, I know they have 2 losses, but look, the losses were to Cherokee County and Anniston, 2 4A teams that are both ranked in the top 10 in their respective classifications. So we're keeping Piedmont. We dropped them a little bit, but we're keeping them in the top 10 at number 7. Number 6, Randolph County. They're undefeated, Coach. They won again tonight, went to overtime to beat Wadley. But this team appears to have, again, Coach Pat Prestridge, I think, is having a turnaround season in Wedowee.
They're a hard-nosed physical team. Again, it was a little bit of surprise of the overtime win against Wadley, but it was at Wadley, and we all know how well Wadley plays defense. But I think we're fixing to find out exactly where Randolph County's going to come in playoff-wise, because they've got some of their bigger games ahead of them.
Top 5 now. Number 5, Spring Garden, won again tonight. They've beaten Cedar Bluff 3 times in a row. A highly regarded Cedar Bluff team. They won at Cedar Bluff at number 5. Number 4, Cherokee County. Huge win, very impressive, beating Munford 56-26 tonight on Homecoming and Center. Number 3, the Moody Blue Devils. And then, Coach, we get down 1 and 2 has not changed, and it's next week at Wyatt Mosby Stadium in Anniston. Number 2, Anniston. Number 1, Hanley. What do you think?
That's going to be a great ball game. It'll be a great ball game to be at. I'm going to be there. I'm going to watch that ball game, and it's close here till we can get back, so I can see more than 2 quarters. That team right there, the Moody Blue Devils, how many points did they put on Alexandria, who I watched tonight with Central Clay? They're a good football team. Just because of what I watched tonight and what I saw, they're going to be a surprise.
And they scored 47 tonight against a good Shelby County team on the road. So Moody continues to roll, and they are remaining undefeated in Class 5A play. Noble Bank and Trust, of course, they bring you our post-game presser, and we've had some great guests tonight. Kurt Duryea from WCKA Radio, voice of the Piedmont Bulldogs, head coach of the Wellborn Panthers, Jeff Smith, head coach of the Glencoe Yellow Jackets, Scott Martin. Noble Bank and Trust, they have a branch in Anniston. They're in Oxford. They're in Alexandria. They're in Piedmont. They're even at the Summit in Birmingham. They are in Heflin as well. And when you go, all these places, you're going to have great friendly people, and then also what you're going to find if you call in, you're going to talk to a live person. Go to noblebank.com. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. Time for our next Chevrolet of Gadsden, our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden Extra Point. Next Thursday's Lincoln versus Munford game. I think it's still the top rivalry in East Alabama. At Munford Stadium will be the 78th meeting of the Golden Bears and Lions. 2 schools first met in 1946, and they have played every year since then. Munford leads the series 40-36-1. Lincoln won last year 69-13, but Munford had taken 7 of the previous 8 in the series. More of high school football Alabama's after the game when we come back.
My dad taught me to fish right here years ago. But when an old sports injury started slowing him down, I knew we'd need to search for the latest procedures in knee and hip replacement. With physical therapy tailored to his needs, a dedicated team of doctors and nurses, and he'd want a fast recovery time. So where'd he find all that?
Right here at RMC.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Aniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Aniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Aniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.anistonortho.com. Aniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
Your home is a reflection of you, whether that's classic, farm style, or something unique. We at Ted's Carpet and Floor understand that, and we'll help you through the selection, finance, and installation process. We have an extensive selection of designer tiles, carpet, laminate, and hardwood. Let us help you choose the perfect granite or quartz to customize your kitchen or bathroom. We offer free in-home measurements, estimates, and design consultations. Ted's Carpet and Floor, your style, our passion.
Are you ready for some football? Come in all month long and take a test drive at Team 1 Chevrolet and have a chance to win an Alabama, Auburn tailgate, or the ultimate tailgate package. Log on to ChevroletofGadsden.com for complete details. Chevrolet of Gadsden, where everyone's a winner. Someone's going to win an Alabama tailgate, someone's going to win an Auburn tailgate, and somebody's going to win the ultimate grand prize, including grill, generator, and big screen TV. Chevrolet of Gadsden, home of the best people, the best service, period.
You're taking a look at our latest edition of the Muscle Team, the Grub Mart Muscle Team. This week is the Jacksonville offensive line against Talladega last week in that 76-21 victory, most points in school history. Not only did they lead the way in their team scoring 76 points, but they allowed their team to rush for 335 yards. They also gave up no sacks of Jim Ogle at quarterback. These guys include Nick Smith, Hayden Smith, Trey Brown, Zach Limbaris, Nate Smith, Cooper Hodge, and Braden Ball. That is our Grub Mart Muscle Team. Coach Michael Short has the T-shirt. He's going to show it off here. Every one of those members of the Muscle Team is going to get that great-looking Grub Mart Muscle Team. I dropped last week's Muscle Team off, Gadsden City. Today I was at Gadsden City High School and dropped off their Muscle Team T-shirts. And so we'll name our next Muscle Team coming up next Friday right here on High School Football Alabama. After the games, congratulations to the Jacksonville offensive line. Gerhard Mathangani is back with us now. We got more highlights, and let's go through some highlights tonight. What we got teed up here, Gerhard?
Yeah, one of the former winners of that Muscle Team, Gadsden City, taking on a really strong opponent. Hillcrest Tuscaloosa coming over to Titan Stadium. When Bailey Morris and our crew gets there, it's 14-10. There you see where the Patriots of Hillcrest Tuscaloosa had the lead early on, and they add to it. Here is Ethan Crawford, airs it out for Jamarcus Prince, who's brought down hard by Braden Stallis from Gadsden City, but not after a first down. 2 plays later, it is Jamarion Johnson taking it in for the Patriots. Touchdown, and the Patriots add to their lead. Hillcrest Tuscaloosa 21, Gadsden City 10. Gadsden City just cannot get anything going offensively. Hillcrest going back on offense right here after the short push there, that push on that play there. No good for Gadsden City. So very next possession there, ensuing possession for Hillcrest Tuscaloosa. Once again, another touchdown. It is Crawford back to Henderson for the score. It is 28-10. Patriots with the lead. Ensuing kickoff. Hillcrest goes onside kick, and it's recovered by Braylon Howard. And Hillcrest Tuscaloosa maintains the football, kicking an onside kick up 28-10 on Gadsden City. Aggressive play calling there. Not long after that, Crawford finding Prince. And once again, this connection is good. It's in for another touchdown. And Hillcrest Tuscaloosa leads Gadsden City 35-10 going into the locker room there at halftime. And Hillcrest Tuscaloosa will come into Etowah County and get a big win over Gadsden City. But you see the Patriots undefeated on the season coming into this game. They lead Gadsden City that way. Gadsden City, once again, going up, just playing up in their non-region games. Took one on the chin again today, 45-19, your final score there. You see the previous meeting there back in 2007. But guys, this is a team that once again, they'll learn through these games because once again, they're playing a really tough opponent. And Hillcrest Tuscaloosa really came to play today.
Yeah, no shame in losing to the Ole Miss Rebels. I mean, Hillcrest Tuscaloosa, looking at the uniform there. Thought Lane Kiffin was going to show up on the sidelines looking at that Hillcrest Tuscaloosa uniform. The thing about, and you touched on it, Gerhard, with Gadsden City, I believe Gadsden City, they got Hazel Green next week, probably going to win the region title. I think Gadsden City is the favorite to win a region title, but their non-region schedule, they're in a 6-team region, so they had 5 non-region games. One of those is Calera, but guys, the other 4, Carrollton, Georgia, Hewitt Trussville, Hillcrest Tuscaloosa, and Hartselle.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
Yeah, and you'll see Hartselle in a moment because that team is really, really good. But Coach, you've touched on this before. Sometimes scheduling opponents, trying to find opponents is really difficult, and you want to challenge your team. Gadsden City will be challenged. I think what I like about this Gadsden City team, though, is they've been able to refocus. They took one on the chin in their first 2 opponents against Carrollton, Georgia early on in the season, but then came right back into region play and got a couple wins via their defense, and their defense was really hit hard there, and I expect them to do the same thing after this loss as well.
Well, I mean, they have to, with the region schedule, non-region schedule they have, they got to survive it. And if they can survive it, and I'm not talking about physically, I'm talking about mentally.
Correct.
If Coach Smith can keep bringing those kids back and making them understand that these games right here will help us once the playoffs start. There's no doubt I think they'll win the region. But they're going to be one of those teams that goes to that first meeting in Montgomery, and they could be 5-5.
Right.
You know, and people are going to go, well, who is that? Well, I think people will find out. I think they have an opportunity to go a couple rounds in the playoffs, and once you get there, you never know.
Right.
But they've got to mentally stay together in order to make it a run in the playoffs.
Yeah, you mentioned 5-5. They could be 5-5 and region champion. You don't see that very often.
Not very often, but because of the non-region schedule, is the way it's going to be that way.
Right.
Old Gadsden High went in the playoffs one year at 4-5 and won the state championship.
Very
so
true.
there you go.
Very true.
We'll see what happens. Class 6A Region 8. Then we're going to take a look at that in our region rundown now, and you'll see that. That game is next week. The top 2 teams, both undefeated in region play, Gadsden City and Hazel Green. Gadsden City's already beaten Fort Payne, and they will be heavy favorites over Lee of Huntsville and Buckhorn. And May Jemison Gunnersville blasted Buckhorn tonight in a non-region game. So Gadsden City, I really think it's theirs to win and then to lose, I should say. And then they will be, I think, in the driver's seat to win this thing and then get in the playoffs. And who knows, as we take a look there at Class 6A Region 8. Talking about the Muscle Team, Young Oil Company brings you the Muscle Team and Young Oil Grub Mart. They have 99-cent bag of ice. They also have the Grub Tub. Let me tell you what they're doing with the Grub Tub. If you have a Grub Tub from last year, you can use that all the way until August 31st of next year and get unlimited free popcorn at any Grub Mart location in East Alabama. So check out Grub Mart, bringing you our Young Oil Grub Mart Muscle Team. We'll be back with more of high school football Alabama after the game in just a moment.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, or Roanoke. And don't forget about our low price guarantee.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cash Back account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. Noblebank.com. Member FDIC.
There's a lot to think about when you're having a baby. Colors of the nursery, names, and most importantly, where to deliver.
We wanted a hospital that gives families a more personalized birthing experience.
With a compassionate team of doctors and nurses, and a hospital where my baby and I could instantly bond with all the comforts of home.
So where do we find all that?
Right here at RMC, the first designated baby-friendly hospital in Alabama.
Aniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Aniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Aniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.anistonortho.com. Aniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
Monday night, the place to be, and every Monday night, the place to be if you're a football fan, is the Quarterback Club of Calhoun County. Have their weekly meeting during football season at the Aniston Country Club. This Monday night, ESPN football analyst, former Auburn star, former Homewood star, Cole Kubelik will be in town at the Aniston Country Club. Membership information, still not too late to get involved with that. Contact Kevin Gibson, 256-453-4886. The Quarterback Club of Calhoun County, great supporters of high school football, scholarship money. Our media day that they put on is fantastic. Just check them out Monday night. If you see Cole Kubelik running around town, hey, that's why he's here. The ESPN football analyst, you see him on the sidelines on football Saturdays. Well, the Oxford Yellow Jackets, homecoming tonight. Everybody, has homecoming, it seems like, this week.
Right.
Coaches hate homecoming. And I tell you, Sam Adams from Oxford probably not liking homecoming a lot tonight either, because his team in the second half, particularly tonight, really ran into a buzzsaw at home against an undefeated, very good Hartselle Tiger team. This is a team that's come to East Alabama 2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
They came to Gadsden City last week and showed some defense.
Right.
They came to Oxford this week, Gerhard, and showed some offense.
And some defense and some special teams. And you'll see all three phases here for Hartselle in this matchup. And this is one of those situations where Oxford had an early lead, but once the momentum was captured by Hartselle, they kept it going after that. We'll show you how it all unfolded from Lamar Field out at Oxford today. Got there late in the second quarter. It's 24-21, Hartselle with the lead, just over 2 minutes to go. This quarterback, Jack Smith, to Isaiah Fletcher, and Fletcher picks up some nice yards in a first down. Few plays later, it is Smith in for the touchdown, so that lead has now ballooned out to 31-21. But then Oxford needs to run a 2-minute offense, but they need to do it in 1 minute 7 seconds. They do so, and Mason Mims, a couple of nice passes to Judd Sire. Here's one of them. Keeps the clock going after that big first down play, inbounds. A little bit later, once again, same combo. Mims to Sire, gets it down into Hartselle territory. Last play of the half. They just have to go to the end zone. And just before you thought that Oxford would come down with it, it is all Hartselle. And guys, they took that momentum into the locker room and never relinquished it. Third quarter, this is a reverse pass from Hartselle. It is Landon Blackman to Jack Smith, and Smith in for the Hartselle Tigers there. Nice 30-yard pickup, and then the Crawford Lang field goal stretches the lead out once again. It's now 34-21, 8 minutes to go. Then a punt return. Guys, I told you they did it on every level. Offense, defense, and special teams. You saw the defense come up with the big play right before the half. You saw the offense just a moment ago. Here's the special teams. Here's Isaiah Fletcher. Takes it in for the 71-yard punt return for the house. To the house. Touchdown there. And once again, another big touchdown for Hartselle. It is now 41-21. Moments later, Hartselle into the end zone once again. It is Jack Smith. That makes it 48-21. Guys, they keep scoring even after I leave the ball game. Hartselle kept Oxford at 21 points. That's where we picked it up. Had a chance to score, but that's where we leave it. 69-21. John, you mentioned it. This is a Hartselle program that is a perennial power. Had some hard times, but they've really bounced back. An undefeated football team. They've come to East Alabama twice now, and really impressive showings.
Well, if Gadsden City thought they were playing Ole Miss tonight, I think Oxford probably thought they were playing Alabama.
All right.
I mean, they look like Alabama in the uniform, and I'm sure to Oxford fans, they must have thought they were playing Alabama tonight. Hartselle a big statement game because I'm not sure people around the state were sure if Hartselle was for real with a 6-0 start, but Coach, apparently the Hartselle Tigers are for real with that performance tonight.
They are, and their community knows they've done it before. You know, they've won a lot of games before. Oxford's still a young football team.
Yes.
I know everybody says it, and they're not using it as an excuse. They're still a young football team. The easy way to tell is a lot of times young football teams, when you're close at halftime, they've been that way several times this year, and if things don't quite go your way, things tend to get away from you. And that's the sign of a young football team that, again, like I mentioned about Gaston City, they got to somehow hold it together, not physically but mentally. And it really shows that they're missing that running back to be able to get any kind of running game going.
Right. And I think that the key thing for Oxford, as you mentioned, stay locked in mentally. But you're seeing some of the things with the attrition for the players that are hurt. You see that mostly in the second half of games. And you saw it in the second half here today. Just unable to maintain it as they go on. So got up to a really, really nice start, but maintaining it to the second half, and I'm sure that's one of the things that Coach Sam Adams worked with his guys.
And men, as we look at the Class 6A Region 6 rundown here, the region rundown, I think Oxford's still a playoff team. I really believe that this game tonight had nothing to do with the region whatsoever, non-region week. And you look at this Class 6A Region 6 standings there, of course, you got Clay Chalkville sitting there at the top. But I think this is a region that Oxford can be a playoff team once again.
Yeah, I think more than anything, they're looking at a third, a fourth. But if you could just get in, I mean, that's the most important thing, because if you get in, those kids say, you know, all this work we've been doing is worth it. And they just got to find a way to get in somehow.
And honestly, you can make the argument this is the toughest region in all of 6A football. Like I said, you can make this argument with the defending state champions and also with Pinson Valley, who's made some noise here. Pell City's always one of those teams that can shake things up. Not doing well this year. Same thing with Huffman, but a lot of proud football programs and a lot of proud traditions here. But like John said, I mean, Oxford's right there in the mix. So there is no reason to get deflated from a mental standpoint, because there's still a lot of football out ahead, and the postseason is still an option.
No doubt.
Champions, that's the song they play at Oxford when they score touchdowns. That's the song you hear when you see Pee Wee Turner Motors here on After the Game, PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. Over 50 years in the car business, it is this area's oldest independent dealer. As always, a great selection of cars, pickups, SUVs. They've been at the same location at 512 South Quintard Avenue in Anniston since 1969. Again, PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. See Lance, Tara, Becky, or Dee Dee. No matter what your credit score, they'll get you approved at Pee Wee Turner Motors, South Quintard Avenue in Anniston. We'll be back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
Are you ready for some football? Come in all month long and take a test drive at Team 1 Chevrolet and have a chance to win an Alabama, Auburn tailgate, or the ultimate tailgate package. Log on to ChevroletofGadsden.com for complete details. Chevrolet of Gadsden, where everyone's a winner. Someone's going to win an Alabama tailgate, someone's going to win an Auburn tailgate, and somebody's going to win the ultimate grand prize, including grill, generator, and big screen TV. Chevrolet of Gadsden, home of the best people, the best service, period.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston. The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You will be glad you did.
Your home is a reflection of you, whether that's classic, farm style, or something unique. We at Ted's Carpet and Floor understand that, and we'll help you through the selection, finance, and installation process. We have an extensive selection of designer tiles, carpet, laminate, and hardwood. Let us help you choose the perfect granite or quartz to customize your kitchen or bathroom. We offer free in-home measurements, estimates, and design consultations. Ted's Carpet and Floor, your style, our passion.
After the game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, coming to you live tonight from the RMC Media Center at Parker Memorial Baptist Church, Quintard Avenue in Midtown Anniston. Rolling on this football Friday night. We're going to talk 1A football now with Coach Short, Coach Class 1A Region 6. Again, nobody in region play tonight. The surprise team maybe in this region is the team you see sitting there at the top. They won tonight over Pleasant Valley. Pretty good Pleasant Valley team. 32-6 tonight over at Joan Ford Stadium. They beat Wadley last week, and there's a big showdown coming in a couple of weeks with Spring Garden. Still a lot to be decided, especially at the top half, I think, of this region.
Yeah, Ragland's game tonight is what surprised me. Not maybe the win, but the score, the distance in the score. But Wadley tonight, going overtime with Randolph County, one of our top 10 teams. That was a surprise to me that they went overtime.
This region was very impressive tonight. Ragland beat a 2A team handily. Spring Garden beat Cedar Bluff, a highly thought of 1A team, handily on the road. Wadley takes Randolph County to overtime. Winterboro beat Oatman tonight. That was a bit of a surprise. Victory Christian came from behind and beat Galesville. Donahoe had an open date. TCC lost at Summington Christian. So out of region, these teams were really strong tonight.
Yeah, Winterboro is going to be, to me, is going to be a surprise team. And they didn't start off that way, and people kind of wrote them off. But I think Winterboro is going to end up being a playoff team, and Coach Mansfield's got a talented group. It's just getting them all together at the same time.
Coach, Class 1A Region 7, the thing that stood out to me tonight was Coosa Christian. This is a really good team. They go to Gatlinburg. Last year, Gatlinburg-Pittman beat them 56-7. Tonight, Gatlinburg-Pittman had to come from behind to win 28-24 tonight. So Valley Head, Appalachia, I still think Valley Head probably is the favorite in this region. But Coosa is one of those teams, Coach, that could get in the 1A playoffs and shock some people.
Well, they just got to get there. Because, again, tonight, I was thinking when they go up to Gatlinburg, they're going on vacation, they're all going to have a good time. But they went up there and played some football this time. And they played a very good Gatlinburg-Pittman team that's a lot larger than they are. And by being able to go up there and just play with them, I'm like you. I think if they just get in the playoffs somewhere, they're able to make some noise. And there'll be some upsets in the playoffs, and they'll be given by Coosa Christian.
Gatlinburg-Pittman was a quarterfinal team 2 years ago. Last year, a second-round team in Class 3A in Tennessee, and they had to come from behind to beat our Coosa Christian Conquerors tonight from here in East Alabama. Congratulations to our Assistant Coach of the Week, and that is going to go, presented by, of course, the folks at Johnson's Giant Food. That is Jake Welch of the Alexandria Valley Cubs. He serves on the defensive side. Talked with his dad tonight down at Clay Central. He serves on the defensive side. He's also teaches physical education at Alexandria Middle School. Of course, he is a guy who played for the Valley Cubs. This guy bleeds orange. The guy was a quarterback for the legendary Larry Ginn out there. Coach, you're familiar with Coach Welch, obviously, down through the years. Great Valley Cub legend, really, and now coaching with the Valley Cubs, played quarterback and safety for Alexandria. He will get a $25 gift card from Johnson's Giant Food. Jake Welch is our Assistant Coach of the Week, and not only does he have that $25 gift card, let me tell you some of the things he can spend that on, and that's some of the things that you can spend it on as well. Tomorrow's another big football Saturday, big football Sunday coming up. Let me just tell you, Johnson's Giant Food, the deli, phenomenal. Ribs, chicken, pork chops, fish, chicken fingers, they have it all. If you don't want to cook, you go to the deli. If you do want to cook, they've got the most outstanding meats anywhere in East Alabama, as they've got the steaks, the pork chops, the chicken. They've got even seafood, anything you want, and then everything else to go with it. Johnson's Giant Food, 5 locations to serve you: East Gadsden, downtown Gadsden, Attala, Coldwater, and Jacksonville.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, or Roanoke. And don't forget about our low price guarantee.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You will be glad you did.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Awards to remember, just a few months away from celebrating 40 years in business. Named one of the top 10 dealers in the Southeast for plaques, trophies, medals, and all types of awards. Go to awards2remember.com. They have everything for your school, church, business, or organization. Awards to Remember and awards2remember.com, where recognition gets results. 892-2500 at awards2remember.com. Also, you can visit their showroom. They have all kinds of samples out there at 4017 Alabama Highway 144 in Ohatchee. Our crew tonight, Coach Short, myself, we were down at Volunteer Stadium. Great atmosphere for something I've been looking forward to for about 10 or 11 years, Coach. I know you have as well. Folks have kind of been beating the drum. Man, Alexandria, Central Clay County, Alexandria, Central Clay County. They're both 5A teams. They're just about 30 miles apart. Let's get them hooked up to play. And they have a home-and-home series that began for the first time tonight down in Clay County, Gerhard.
It's one of these things where you're seeing this marriage also on the college level, where you're starting to see what I call these helmet games. We saw it earlier this year with Alabama and Texas, and we've seen all these matchups. I like it coming down to the high school level as well, because this is the exact same thing. You guys just talked about it a minute ago. Valley Cubs, the Volunteers meeting down in Central Clay today, and here a nice little run out there for Central Clay over at Volunteer Stadium, but it is Alexandria getting the momentum going on offense early on. Antonio Ross, 30-yard reception here on the pass by Ty Barker, keeps the chains moving here. However, the drive would end right here as Ross unable to come up with the first down, and then that missed field goal there and a missed opportunity for Alexandria. That was kind of the key in the first half. However, the defense comes to play for Alexandria, making up for not being able to get points there. Caden decline on the fumble recovery. Moments later, it is another fourth down opportunity for Alexandria, and you see here as the chains come out, and it's the Volunteers that are celebrating after this one after they stop Ross short of the first down there. No harm, no foul, because Alexandria gets the football right back. Ross on the reception. It is Barker with the catch there. The biggest play when our cameras were there. Meanwhile, Forrest, once again, missing another field goal. Once again, these missed opportunities. That one going off the post. It's off the upright there, and it is no good. So we locked at 0 still. Nice interception right here by DeMarcus Williams. It's a defense and special teams kind of game here. As we were there, and guys kind of ended that way as well, as Central Clay gets the first of these teams playing, and I hope it's the first of very many. We talked about Anderson Piedmont. I hope this one sustains as well. We got one more at least. Hope we get more. 21-7, your final score from Clay.
This game, Coach, was 0-0. You and I were both on the sidelines down there, 0-0 at the half. And I'm like, well, what do you expect from Alexandria in Central Clay County? But basically, there was a defensive struggle in the first half. And then we wondered, what in the world did Coach Danny Horn tell his team at halftime? Because they came out and blitzed Alexandria, 3 unanswered touchdowns. Alexandria got a late score, but boy, I tell you what, whatever happened at halftime and that Clay Central locker room, it did some good for the Volunteers because they scored 21 unanswered in that third and fourth quarter.
2 of the biggest plays of the game was, we just saw it on highlights, where Ross catches a pass, and he's got a 5-yard separation that he's fixing to score.
Right.
The kid from the backside from Central Clay run him down and made a tackle, a diving tackle. If not, that's a touchdown.
Yes.
Because what it did is it led to another field goal attempt that they didn't get. To me, that was one of the plays of the game. Here's the second turn of the game. The last play of the half. Central Clay comes out in 2 tight end, full house wishbone. You've been wondering, when is it going to happen?
Right.
When are they going to try to lean on those big offensive linemen? And they get in it. They didn't score, but they just rammed up inside, break it to the outside, and gets about a 35-yard run. I said to myself, we're fixing to see this the second half. And you know what? Everybody left, and I tried to stay around. The opening drive of the second half, here we go. Click, click, click. Full house wishbone.
Right.
Touchdown. And they never really was able to relinquish. But my goodness, in the third quarter, Central Clay threw 1 pass in the second half.
Right.
1 after throwing 9 in the first half. Threw 1 pass. They had 190 yards rushing in the third quarter alone.
Wow.
190 yards rushing in the third quarter. Terry Heflin had a 73-yard run. Damian Cosby had a 67-yard run. And Terry Heflin ended the night with 162 yards rushing. Central had 294 in total. Alexandria had 242 total. So your yards ended up almost
close to even,
really close to even.
Yeah.
But it was that third quarter of rushing. And here's what really may have been a part of the game too. Was Alexandria gets the ball with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. They're down 21-0, and they had over a 9-minute drive to score. But you know what? Yeah, it was a great drive, but there's no time left.
Right.
So then they were forced to have to go to onside kicks, and they didn't get them. So that's pretty much Central Clay did not get the ball to 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Right.
But it was too far behind.
Yeah.
So really, the third quarter was the difference in the ball game, and I think Alexandria not being able to take advantage of those field goals, which, you know what, guys? Everybody wants to kick the kicker, but you got a snapper and a holder and a kicker.
Exactly, right.
And everybody's got a block.
Right.
And one of those actually kicks were good, but it got brought back for a penalty.
And those sometimes get lost in the shuffle there, so it's good when you get brought up. Hey, it's called a special teams unit for a reason.
That's right.
People think kicker, they think obviously the kicker, they think the placeholder, but it's a unit, and it's everybody that has to attribute to those points, whether it's 1 point or 3.
And I think the game really, when it's all said and done, came down to exactly what we thought it might be. Can Alexandria's youth and their lack of size up front be able to stand up for 4 quarters with a team that's got a very large offensive line?
Right. And even though these teams are next door neighbors, they live in neighboring counties right next to each other, Clay and Calhoun County. They're not in same regions. As a matter of fact, one's in South Alabama, one's in North Alabama. Region rundown right now, Class 5A Region 4 is where Central Clay County resides. And even though they've lost a couple of games, they are still undefeated in region play up there with Beauregard. And Coach, I think right now Central Clay County's got a great chance at winning that region.
Oh, they do. And look at the losses they have. They lost Ben Russell, game 1, and then they turn around and lose to Hanley. Well, hey, we always got Hanley on our top 10 up here.
Right.
So,
Number one.
that's who they lost. That's who they lost to. So, yeah, I've watched Central Clay and Coach Horn. Oh, well, look, they're getting better every week. And the difference is that offensive line's getting better every week. You got the skill guys, but now they're starting to get better. And you know what? They live off of what? Their defense. When you hold Antonio Ross to less than 100 yards rushing, then you've done your job.
Class 5A Region 6 is where Alexandria resides, and that was even though they're 2-3 overall, they're in good shape in their region. They're 2-1 in region play. They've already played probably the top team in that region, Moody. Leeds will have a lot to say about that, as will Southside. A lot of football still to be played here, but Alexandria is like Central Clay County. They're basically in a great position, I think, to get a playoff berth out of Class 5A Region 6.
Most certainly, and when you look at the region, you mentioned, John, that they've already played Moody, and so it's a situation now where they need to handle their business because they could still move up here. As it sits right now, the season ended today, they're 4. But their potential is probably 2 at the highest, maybe 3, and so they have a great chance here to not only solidify themselves as a playoff team, but also move up and maybe still get a home game.
Look, I watched them two play tonight, Alexandria and Central Clay, and I got to thinking, and I think me and you even looked at each other, John, and said, Moody scored a lot of points against this bunch, and they're a good defense.
Right.
That just tells you how good Moody is.
I think it does. One of the great things that happened down there tonight, too, and it's kind of unique because usually you would see two schools that know each other very well, that are old rivals, do something like this. But tonight, before the game at Volunteer Stadium, both the Clay County and the Central Clay County and I'm old school there. I'm going Clay County. Central Clay County and Alexandria bands combined together. They were honoring childhood cancer. It's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Look at the gold up in the stands. That was the Clay Central side. Here's the Alexandria side. You didn't see much red and blue on the Clay Central side. You don't see very much orange and black at all on the Alexandria side. They all sold and wore gold shirts. You see the teams running onto the field. Look, all the cheerleaders, the band members, all wearing gold and black. That's kind of the color for Childhood Cancer Awareness. And they had honorary captains out there from both Clay Central and from Alexandria that both schools had out there, where they had honorary captains and they honored some cancer survivors and some families that had lost folks to cancer before the game. Both bands played Amazing Grace out there. There was a prayer, national anthem, and both those schools came together to kind of make this happen. And you just don't see that happen with schools that really have not had any kind of interaction with each other, but they came together right here in their first meeting and had a really nice moment down there before the game.
We love the football angle of it. We love the helmets. We love the two programs. We love the traditions. But that's cool because, like you said, there isn't much communication as far as just what is on the surface, because they don't meet each other a lot, obviously in football, but in other sports as well. So for the first meeting for these two proud programs that proudly wear their colors to come together for this cause, which is a cause being recognized across sports, it's phenomenal. And it was great to see. You love to see the orange down there, and you would love to see that gray and the black, or the red, white, and blue in Death Valley. But you didn't. You saw those two fan bases combined for something bigger. It lets you know that football is a sport where you can be proud of yourself and your team, but it's also super galvanizing.
When they come together, if you didn't shed a tear tonight,
there's
something wrong with you. Don't have a heart. And when they started playing Amazing Grace, this is two bands that don't come together in practice. They came together and did Amazing Grace, and it was unbelievable. There's not a dry eye in the house. And just to watch it. But this is what high school football is supposed to be about.
Yeah.
Communities coming together. We have our differences, but we love our team, and you love your team. And we're going to come together because it is more important. Childhood cancer, there's way more things important than football. Yeah, I just said that.
Right.
There's a lot more important, and that tonight was put out there for everybody to see, for two communities that are so proud of their programs to come together for one common goal. And there was a lot of money raised tonight for that.
Right.
And that was just unbelievable. But then for 48 minutes, we try to kill each other.
Exactly.
But then afterwards, we're able to come back again.
Right.
And it's over and we shake hands and we have to do that because that's what football is about. And tonight, I was just glad to be there and be a part of it because that's something that a lot of people will never forget. And I know those kids that were out there on the field will never forget that opportunity because those little kids that got to go out there tonight that are survivors and they were honorary captains. I mean, boy, I tell you, again, if you didn't shed a tear, then there's something wrong with you.
Exactly. Hat tip certainly to both communities.
Not only Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, but there's also Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. And RMC, you got about a week left to make you can go and make an appointment and they'll give you a free prostate cancer screening. You can go with the RMC Urology Department and call to schedule that. It's absolutely free, 237-6717. That's 256-237-6717. This is all the way, they're offering this free all the way through next Friday, so make that appointment next week at RMC Urology. Time for our final Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden Extra Point. Because of race weekend activities at the Talladega Superspeedway next weekend, 4 games involving Talladega County schools will be played on Thursday night. Mississippi School for the Deaf at ASD, Thorsby at Fayetteville, Donahoe at Winterboro, and Lincoln at Munford will all be played Thursday, September 29th. After the game is going to be at quite a few of those. Another Thursday night of football action. We come back, we're going to name our Ted's Carpet and Floor Team of the Week.
Your home is a reflection of you, whether that's classic, farm style, or something unique. We at Ted's Carpet and Floor understand that, and we'll help you through the selection, finance, and installation process. We have an extensive selection of designer tiles, carpet, laminate, and hardwood. Let us help you choose the perfect granite or quartz to customize your kitchen or bathroom. We offer free in-home measurements, estimates, and design consultations. Ted's Carpet and Floor, your style, our passion.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cash Back account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. Noblebank.com. Member FDIC.
Anniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Anniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Anniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.annistonortho.com. Anniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
Are you ready for some football? Come in all month long and take a test drive at Team 1 Chevrolet and have a chance to win an Alabama, Auburn tailgate, or the ultimate tailgate package. Log on to ChevroletofGadsden.com for complete details. Chevrolet of Gadsden, where everyone's a winner. Someone's going to win an Alabama tailgate, someone's going to win an Auburn tailgate, and somebody's going to win the ultimate grand prize, including grill, generator, and big screen TV. Chevrolet of Gadsden, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Wrapping up after the game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, time to announce our Ted's Carpet and Floor Team of the Week. They will get the Tough Guy Trophy if I don't break it next week. They will also get a Ted's Carpet and Floor t-shirt in the school colors, and they will get our Anniston Orthopedic Score shirt with the score of the game and the date on the back. And that score next week is going to say Sacs Wildcats 28, BB Comer Tigers 0. Congratulations to Jonathan Miller and the Sacs Wildcats. They are the Ted's Carpet and Floor Team of the Week. They're getting the Aston Orthopedic score shirts, and we're going home on this Football Friday night. Have a blessed weekend. We'll see you back here next Friday night on Facebook and YouTube.
The High School Football Alabama Scoreboard is a production of Fairfax Garden Media.